wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody.
Yeah, halfway day.
You made it to the top of the hump.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Wednesday.
The cream of the crop.
There you go.
And just because I heard the word a second ago and it's kind of bouncing around in the head, the Retsin of your work week.
No one's ever explained what Retsin is.
It's true. It comes, like you said, it comes from that same factory that Bifidus regularis comes from.
And nougat.
It's that one. I think it's the Dow Chemical Company that's responsible for all this stuff.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Somebody running into the office with a clipboard. Sir, we're out of Bifidus regularis. What do we do?
We're going to have to go to the Bifidus regularis black market.
Things have been rough down here at the Bifidus regularis plant.
That's right.
At the Bifidus mines.
Well, there was a fight between Johnny Bifidus and Teddy Regularis.
I remember when my father, Harlan Bifidus, started this company back in 1847, and he wouldn't stand for it.
That's right.
John Regularis. I don't know, Harlan just feels like a perfect 1800s business owner name.
Harlan Bifidus.
The third.
Esquire.
My grandfather started this company in 1847. This is not the Bifidus way.
Not two.
Now get those Retsin people on the phone.
That's right.
Where are those pictures I was supposed to see?
Where's Ignatius Retsin?
Ignatius? Iggy Retsin.
And Aloysius Nougat.
Meanwhile, his grandson's just living off a trust fund in Cabo. He's like, what's up, Iggy Retsin III?
ZZ.
Igzy. Igretz.
Chit.
He's starting his mumble rap career. He's actually opening for Billie Eilish.
What was it? White Boy Summer? What was that thing?
Oh my God, that's a whole thing.
What was that thing?
Yeah, it was White Boy Summer, and that lasted for like 2 whole weeks.
That was Tom Hanks' other kids.
He for a quick and for those who weren't privy to it, for a quick second at the beginning of this last summer, privilege was officially checked. Because White Boy Summer was happening. That was basic. And if you ask him what White Boy Summer is, he proceeds to tell you it's visors, it's Gucci flip flops, what's that one brand? AF Abercrombie and Fitch tank tops and like camo board shorts. Yeah, it's basically however he chose to dress. That's White Boy Summer.
It's what's laying on the floor in the closet.
And then like a week later, stuff came out that he was like there was like a domestic thing with his I think fiance.
Lovely.
Yeah. So yeah. White Boy Summer officially was canceled.
Stay classy, San Diego. So no White Boy
We regret
fall.
to inform you that White Boy Summer has officially been postponed.
Well, maybe it's the autumn now.
What's funny is now I've heard people saying that we're going into Sad Girl Fall.
Oh.
So buckle up for that one. just a bevy of emotions coming your way, moms.
Well, happy Wednesday. Hopefully you don't fall in the traps of
Where the
these.
hell did we go? Bifidus and Retson and
It's middle of the week. Let me give you the rundown for today. Actually, we got a full interview for this hour. We had Angela Strange from the Kids Arts Program join us in the 9 o'clock hour yesterday, and Amy Mateus also joined us. And we're talking about the Kids Art Program. They've got a big event this Saturday out at the Historical Society. Think of their like graveside manor, but in the house. So it's called the Living Museum.
ooh,
And some of the kids are going to be dressed up as some of our different local, different ones. That's why they did it here, because they want to do some different people.
this is almost like the 2.0.
But those people don't reside at South Park
Gotcha.
Cemetery. So,
Okay.
so that's the point.
So the South Park Cemetery was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. This is Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to play that for you this hour.
Nice.
In the 8 o'clock hour, 8:15 or so, we're going to have the folks from American Legion Post 61 join us. And we're going to talk about a White Star ceremony that's happening this weekend. We'll explain more about that. You've heard of Gold Star moms, probably. You've heard of Blue Star. Maybe.
Right.
White Star is for to honor GIs that have committed suicide. So we've got a ceremony that's going to happen on Saturday, honoring one of our locals there. Then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to have the folks from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce join us. And, we got him today. I forgot about that. That's on me.
Yeah. So
Well, the capsing we'll redo. We're going to have...
yeah, we got time for that one.
Yeah, I forgot. We were talking Oasis Computers this morning. I forgot to write that down. That was my fault. But he's here, and we're going to do that instead. So we'll play our Caps interview later. We'll do that. That was my fault. I thought, I was like, there's got to be something here, and I don't know why I didn't write it down. It's called sleeping. So we'll do that this hour. It is 7:11. Let's go ahead and fun is waiting for you. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on our weather, which I ain't gonna lie, kind of boring.
A little bit.
It's just sunny and 80.
Yeah. I would actually argue that's just the best time to be alive in southeastern New Mexico.
Yeah.
Soak it in.
Yeah. 81 today.
It's not dramatic.
Yeah.
Doesn't always have to be a story, people. You can just kind of live in the creamy middle.
It's just nice. Yeah, we're gonna be. Well, I'll let Steve, a meteorologist, tell you what it is. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have dry air over the area and a little cold front moved through earlier today, and that'll keep our temperatures fairly comfortable. Low 80s through the afternoon and a lot of sunshine. Overnight will be clear with mid to upper 40s, and then we'll stay in the low to mid 80s on Thursday with sunshine. Back to the mid 80s and sunny on Friday. The weekend looks fair. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds are calm at the moment. It's just boring weather. Sunny and nice for the next several days. Nothing exciting to write home about here. Sunny skies, high of 81 today. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies. Overnight low 45. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, high of 85 tomorrow, so even warmer. Northwest winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 50. Southeast winds at 5 to 10. Friday, another boring, sunny, nice day. Sunny skies, high of 85. Winds will be out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Saturday, probably our warmest day, 88. Not quite 90, but sunny and 88 on Saturday. And then sunny back down around 84. Looks like on Sunday. And then start next week, nothing more. It's more of the same. Sunny, 87 on Monday. Sunny, 85 on Tuesday. So we're in a sweet spot of niceness. Enjoy it while we have it. All right, it is 7:14. Let's do this. Let's take a commercial break. And then we're going to have John from Oasis Computers. He's going to join us. I forgot to write that down on my schedule. So John will talk to us, and we'll talk tech with John. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial. Every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
I know you smell that. The green chili roasting at Graves Farm. Come on out and load up. You can also load up on pumpkins. The hay rides to the pumpkin patch are back. Saturday starting at 10 through 4:30, Sunday beginning at 1:30. Adults just $8, kids are $6, and that includes the pumpkin. Large pumpkins are $2 extra. There's plenty of pumpkins and plenty of green chili. So follow the roasting aroma to Graves Farm. Type it in your GPS if you need help. Graves Farm, green chili, and a ride to the patch, a New Mexico tradition. Yeah. Christmas came early at Richland Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. A huge inventory has finally arrived at the dealership. Every type of Ram truck you've been waiting for. 2500s, 3500s, even some 4500s. Been looking for a new Dodge Charger or Challenger? They've got them at Richland. And don't go far looking for a new Jeep. Wranglers, Cherokees, Gladiators, even some work vans. It's like Christmas came early. But hurry, these will go fast. Richland on Southeast Main in Roswell.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Oasis Computers, John back with us. Morning, John.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Could be better, but it could be a hell of a lot worse.
This is true. Just when, there are days where you're like, man, that's great. Mm-hmm. Well, I better not wish for that because I don't want to find out.
Right.
Well, how's things at Oasis Computers this morning?
Finally calming down a little bit again. It's been extremely busy there for a week and a half.
Okay.
Like everybody had to come in at once as usual.
Sure.
But, that's okay. We run a little bit behind, but we're caught up again.
Sure.
And we ended up with lots of used laptops that unfortunately going to be obsolete in 4 years, even though they're still great machines and would have probably longer life in it. Windows 11 came out. So Windows 11 now...
is it a total different
beast?
Well,
yes,
or
it looks totally different. It's very nice. I think it's very nice. Most people, it's very nice. And it's almost like we hate Microsoft for what they did, but their interface is nice.
Okay.
Something to that effect.
But it feels like, does it feel like, now we got to learn something new now?
No, from a technology point, from a, what it does.
Like a user perspective?
No. from the underlying technology.
Okay, gotcha.
It's really no different.
Okay.
They made some changes in it where it will not run on seventh generation I processors from Intel.
Okay.
They're not that old. You know, I got one that's 4 years old. No, what is it now? It's almost... Well, time flies when you're having fun of it. Let me rephrase that. That was 2016. So that's four.
Okay.
That's almost
5 years old.
That's almost 6 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's getting there. But that one works fine. It's fast. It's good. And it can run Windows 11.
Mm-hmm.
I got half my computers don't run Windows 11. Now, you got 4 years left in it because Windows 10 is supported for another 4 years.
Gotcha.
But lots of these machines that we had seen on the show, 3 years ago with the old ones we put Windows 10 on, they still work fine, you know. So from my point of view, what Microsoft just did is fill up the landfill in 4 years.
Yeah, you know, that's...
The stuff that's not needed at this point
Sure.
yet.
And the people are going to transition out of it over that 4 years' time. And then, that's technology. That's what...
Well, it
just seems like
but
Microsoft...
the problem is it needs two things. The newer type processors, so they just picked the number, I think, and said, okay, the, 7th generation, that we don't use no more, and anything before that. Now, supposedly on a Pentium of 20 years ago, it runs without any problem.
Really?
Yeah, I read an article on that. Don't know what the scoop is on that. Didn't quite get the details on it, but that was kind of weird. Anyway, stuff that we work with right now, it does not work on those machines, and it needs a TPM module in it. What is a Trusted Platform module?
Okay.
That thing helps with security.
Okay.
There's a 1.2 that came out in, I believe, 2004, and they don't want that one, even though by security people... Steve Gibson, for instance, he says, yes, it's not as good as the 2.0 version that came out in 16, 14, 16. Maybe that's why the i7s are, I'm not the i7, the 7th generation.
Gotcha.
It's not done anymore. Not sure. Anyway, the older version has like 90% of the security in that the new one has.
Okay.
And from their perspective, the security people's perspective, it's like we can use that 1.2 just fine and keep the machines running a little longer.
Okay.
And Microsoft just decided, no, that's not what we do. So there's a little bit of rumbling about, and knowing Microsoft, it may reverse, but I wouldn't count on it.
Gotcha.
You know, so... when you buy a machine, there's new machines that can do it. Brand new machines right now being sold that cannot run Windows 11. I actually have one on the shelf.
Wow.
A weird model because we were short on everything, tried different things. This one told me it couldn't update to 11. Not sure what the scoop is on it. I haven't researched yet, but maybe it's a loss. It's also a $900 computer, so that's nice.
Yeah, no kidding.
But anyway, my stuff, half of it is obsolete, and I'm not sure what to do with it. So you can run for 4 years without any problem. Then Windows 10 is not supported. You can't upgrade to 11. It doesn't allow it to run unless you make a modification in your registry, and then it installs fine. But supposedly it doesn't get updates then.
Well, the part that makes me wonder is, where's the timing on? And granted, we live in the COVID world right now. Computer chips, things, I mean, it's really impossible, the supply and demand. Is it the best time to release a new software thing where you're going to need to upgrade a computer in maybe 4 years or now, depending on how old your computer is? Well, and it's really hard to get a new computer right now.
This timing looks really moronic.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. Now, from my point of view, don't know what listeners think of it. I try to keep stuff out of landfill. I think it's a bad thing. I do believe in global warming and all that stuff.
Well, they have those e-waste events where they try to recycle a lot of that stuff.
And I see the plastic in the ocean on whatever show I watch, and it's like, my God, this is bad. We should do something about it.
Yeah.
And then throwing these good machines that work just fine in the trash can, it just doesn't sound right.
It doesn't feel right.
The good company would say we keep it running as long as we can. I do remember back to when we started up, the first 10 years, let's say, and then people would bring a machine in that was 5 years old, and we would look at it and they go like, "My God, what are you doing with this 5-year-old
Dinosaur
piece of crap here? It just, it doesn't even perform anymore."
Yeah.
So we had about 5 years of life, and then so much changed that you really wanted another one. Now, it's not really hardly any reason.
The advancements aren't exciting enough to want to purchase and upgrade to the newer
The machines that are still around that are doing okay. Some are obviously like, geez, this is slow, and yeah, that's too old. But they're 12, 13 years old. So the stuff that's around that works good, it's getting to the point that the speed test or that performance test we run on it, we want it no lower than about 1,000 because then it starts showing that it's really slow. And the new one, the cheapest new one we sell, runs in at about 1,100. Well, in my opinion, it should be a little faster, but the price is right on it for some people, and it does the job. So do all the old computers. They run, and the one I was talking about earlier. The one that's now obsolete, I just fixed it up for a customer, put a solid-state drive in it, and it runs at 2,200.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's obsolete in 4 years.
Well, enjoy your speed for 4 years and figure something else out.
Yeah, I think it's not, it's something that we need to know.
Sure.
Be careful what you watch.
Sure. Don't invest in something too heavy if knowing that maybe in 4 years it's going to not be.
So my response to it has been I lowered the price on the used equipment some because it's going to run out.
Sure.
And trying to clear them out while we have 4 years in it, and then reevaluate what we take in and redo. The really bottom end that we were still doing, I need to cut those off. I already did several of them. They're almost not worthwhile anyway, but you get a machine for somebody that cannot spend much for I was selling them for 180. That's about as low as we go.
Sure.
So right now, for that price, you get a better one.
Yeah. Well, and I imagine, too, you're probably still seeing more repairs than news at this point because supply and demand is just tricky to get new computers and things. So I imagine you're getting a lot more of the repair side of things right now, try to extend the life of things. And
the biggest employer for me, or not employer, the biggest customer is Microsoft by updating Windows, and then it don't work no more.
So a lot of people are getting the fix through those updates, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it's Microsoft's really fault, in a way it is, but what we have seen, and I always come back to the Windows XP Service Pack 2. I'm not sure if you remember that. It was a big thing. The security got enhanced. They made lots of changes, and Service Pack 2 was like a new version coming out. Except they gave it as a free update, and they still call it Windows XP and then call it Service Pack 2. So what we had to do was get machines in that were needing a reinstall of Windows or install of Windows, whatever. We installed Windows on it, but we didn't have the Windows with Service Pack 2 in it, so we had to add it to it. We done that for close to a year when we were updating with Service Pack 2. Anything we installed Windows on and updated never crashed. Never had anyone crash of those machines. Now, at the same time, millions of people were complaining their machine crashed that they were using. So obviously, when you load software on it, Windows is not by itself anymore. You put your programs on it. You put your virus on it that you didn't know you put it on there. You put your crapware on it. Whatever stuff comes along as you're using it. Windows itself breaks itself. It can do that. It loses a bit here and there or whatever, and it doesn't work right. So with all that, the Windows, the machines that are brought in with problems are always the ones that the update does not work, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Because the stuff that's added to it. And a lot of it is stuff that we don't want. We always see, the, what's it called? McAfee free antivirus is a big one. You install Adobe Acrobat Reader, And if you're not careful, you install the McAfee on it too. It's a little check mark in it you got to take off. They do that a lot, so you get all kinds of stuff in it you don't want, and then eventually it causes problem. I think that's why Windows upgrades crash. And then the thing that I really hate is you got about 5 or 6 different ways of fixing it. And I can never make any of them work. If I do, it's like we celebrate or something like that. The only thing that works is restore to earlier date. But half the time, that's not installed. That's the only thing that I find that really works. Restore to an earlier date, but half of the machines have it turned off, and half that is not turned off works. But that's the best thing I got to get it back up and running. And then, of course, wipe it clean, put it back on. That's not a problem. You can make the machine work again. But fixing it is not very productive. Not very.
Yeah, it seems like you got to take it 2 steps back to get a step forward sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, let's talk. You kind of talk about the new Windows here. Apple. It's the end of the year. We're starting to see these folks put out the new stuff. The Apple stuff too. Are you seeing a lot of clamor for that kind of stuff, or with the new, because it's a new laptop that they
Apple has the new chip.
Yeah.
They made it themselves, and that came out last year, and they're having some new stuff with better chips in it, some higher-end stuff. And that I don't do much with Apple. I fix it, whatever. But I haven't seen the new stuff. I haven't seen it work. You can only do so much, and use yourself. So the word is that, my God, it's phenomenal. The speed versus the price that they charge for it seems to be incredible. And keep in mind, it's completely optimized for Apple, with Apple, through Apple.
It's all Apple.
Yes, that seems to be why they can do it. Their software,
which is great if you're staying in the Apple world.
Right. Right. If you buy into the Apple world, stay with everything they do, I think you pay the extra Apple tax. But you get a good product in general. They have some flaws and stupidities in it, but in general, the quality is definitely better than anything else out there. If you just take it apart, whatever, you can see that. They do have some problems. They do get viruses, but it's all better than in our world where everything is like the Wild West or something like that.
At least there's some semblance of order in that little
right
if that makes sense to
we can do whatever we want, and there you can't do this, you can't do that. Now a lot of people are especially Microsoft is moving in that direction. They want to get their stuff through their app store and not anywhere else, and kind of follow the Apple somewhat. Well, it makes somewhat sense because I'm getting stuck here. I lost it. It works better, overall. But then you can't do what you want anymore, and that's kind of a, bummer.
Are computers getting like cars? And what I mean by this is, it seemed like growing up, a lot more people did work on their cars at home, changing your oil, because cars mechanics were simpler then.
Right.
Now that the technology isn't, cars are more of a computer than a combustible engine anymore, it seems like.
Well, it's kind of,
are computers getting, because, in the old days, people, I could swap out my own hard drives or whatever.
You can still do that. Swapping out memory in a hard drive is still relatively easy.
I didn't know if it was getting muddier to do that now.
No. Well, yes, it is. If you compare it back to Apple, for the last, 4 or 5 years, my drive went bad, or the machine went bad. I can't get access to the drive. Let's call it that way. So machine breaks, and normally what you do is you take the machine, you check it out, liquid spilled on it, for instance, and we fix about 1/3 of the liquid spills with little luck.
So it's only if it just depends on what your fries.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's really bad looking, and we fix it, and it really looks like almost nothing happened, and it can't get it to work. So then you look for board replacement, whatever. But on an Apple, you got your files, and of course everybody has backed them up, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we know that.
Yes, we did. Sure.
And we would back up tomorrow. Anyway, so the files are on there, and the hard drive is soldered as chips on the board, So you can't take the drive out and move it somewhere else. So really important for those machines to do indeed have a backup somewhere, because you can't do anything with it.
Gotcha.
You know, on any machine previous of that Apple or whatever brand, you can take a hard drive out, load it up with the machine that works. You know, just plug it in there as an external drive, and you can read the files in general. What does bring me to another point, what I keep running into more and more is BitLocker. Any idea what BitLocker does?
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, it's encryption.
Okay.
So BitLocker basically protects your files that, let's say I steal the drive out of your computer.
Okay.
And I plug it in, like I said, externally on my computer to see what files you have on it.
Gotcha.
And then it says, this BitLocker protected, you need to get the code. Go to your Microsoft account, do this, this, and this. And, you know, of course, I don't know what your Microsoft account is, and I can't find that and whatever, so I can't see the files. There's no way into it. Nobody can get into it at this point, really consider it lost. What if you need that, if you don't want me to see your files and you got them backed up somewhere, hey, that's great. But, of course, the people that come in my store, they bring the machine in, and then, of course, it broke, and it's like, well, you know, this is one of those where we can't fix it, but reinstalling Windows would do great, and everything is that mucks it up is gone. You got like a new fresh window. Yes, it's like, you know, buying a new house, you know, or an old house that's been redone on the inside. You know,
Mary
there's
Maids came in and cleaned it,
painted it, whatever. It's all new. So even though it's an old house, but nothing of the previous owners or people that lived there was showing. So we can do that. That's no problem. And then, of course, on my end, I end up plugging the drive in. And I said, BitLocker protect. And say, oh, I missed that. Or I couldn't see it because it wasn't working. Either way. And so then to get the files, you have to contact customer and says, what's your Microsoft account? My what?
No one knows that.
Well, not no one, but for most people, maybe I had one. Do you know what it? No, I don't know. Do you know password? I don't know. So then your files are lost once again if you can't get that. Then, of course, you run into a situation that you get a message sent to your phone, the phone that was changed out 2 weeks ago for a new one, and you decided to get a new number, so you can't get to that old number no more.
Right.
And it just, you know, it rolls downhill, if you know what I mean, and it just gets worse.
I imagine people that have a lot of emails, you know, that
email's not really a problem, because for most people, they do know their email account. Resetting the password, if needed, is not necessarily too difficult. And unless you have, you know, especially if you have paid for email, that's fairly easy. You can call a company up. They will help you. But if you have, of course, free email, MSN, Microsoft, Google, whatever.
Yahoo, whatever.
Then, of course, there's no help. And sometimes that is lost at that point. But
and I think most of us have those, too.
It's more your photos or something like that. Those are things that you made yourself or got from somewhere, whatever. But if you make them yourself, you can't find it nowhere else. So you got photos of your parents that passed away or something like that, and then it's like they're gone. I would really miss that. So
the moral of the story is, you know, password, protect that stuff, and then remember it. Use it. Write them down somewhere. Use the software. Do what you got to do.
We used to tell people, do not save passwords on the machine. When somebody hacks into it, they're in plain sight. In general, you can see them. And for the last year, we've been wondering about that. For the last 7-8 months, we've been going, just save them. Because too many times when somebody brings a machine and can't find it, I go look under the password sections in the browser, and there they are. And then it's like, oh, yeah, this brought us in again. Doesn't always work, but a lot of times it does. So, yeah, somebody else may get a hold of it, but that's not as bad for most of my customers as not being able to get your own files.
It's like anything else. What are you doing on this thing? If you're doing stuff that's got a lot of sensitive data, then you probably need to do some more security on your passwords. If it's just you checking your Facebook every day and downloading family pictures and whatnot, then maybe something more simpler security, but something that you could save it and preserve it. but not necessarily has to be Fort Knox to get to.
Yeah, we're really getting to the point that its passwords do not work.
Yeah.
For whatever, however you look at it, there needs to be something better. They're working on that, but it's not doing much at this point. And then, of course, you have to deal with bad people that just try to get your stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's just it. And that's always been the case in the technology world. Whenever there's innovations, the people that are working to work around it are always a step ahead. It's
right.
You look at virus versus virus protection. There's always the jokes about, I think viruses were created by the virus protection people and all that stuff. And it's just the world we live in. Microsoft comes out with a new feature that's protecting. There's already millions of people trying to work around on that thing.
Right.
And probably have already figured out a way before the thing is even mass released.
Right.
That's just the world we live in right now. You got to protect yourself for that.
The other thing is two-factor authentication, meaning you have to type in your password in your whatever bank or wherever you're going to, and then get a message on your phone. Well, that sounds at first pretty good. Well, I got the phone most of the time with me. Now, in my case, the wife at home has is stuck in the chair. She had a stroke and can't really do much. But, I take care of some of the bills, the things that go through her account and whatever. So I'm sitting at work at my computer, and I go do something, and it says, oh, we sent a code to her phone. Well, she's at home.
Right.
So in this case, it's not too bad. I can call her. Say, tell me the code that you got. But still, it's an extra aggravation. And once in a while, we don't get through. We can't get a hold of the person that has that. And then you're stuck and can't do anything.
Sure.
So that sounds, two-factor authentication with a phone sounds great. I always have the phone with me. But the minute you start taking care of other people's stuff, then where does that go to again?
Sure.
So,
or if you're, like you said, not on top of your keeping up to date your authentications, and you do it for a while, and it's like, well, that's sent to a phone I haven't had or a number I haven't had in 2 years.
The other thing that we see is whatever you do daily is really not a problem. But there's certain things you do once in a while, and maybe it's automatic, like the passwords are. So you go along, and then after a certain amount of time, my issue is I go home and we need to log into something, and I go, well, that's not on this computer. So you hunt down, and then you forget what you needed to do. How did I do that here? On the one you're working on, it's set up to do that, but not on another computer. And if you buy a new one, you move that stuff over as you look at it, and it's not too bad. But if you just get off guard, then there's a lot of things we don't know.
Yeah.
The same reason why the passwords are forgotten. People make it automatic, and you automatically forget them.
That's true.
And then, the other thing I still want to warn for is the habit that Microsoft has to tell you sooner or later in Windows, you need to set up a PIN. I don't know if you've run into that, if you have seen it.
I have done that.
Yes. Now, what is the problem with that? You got any idea?
I guess if you forget the PIN.
No. You have a password. You start up, and then down the road, a week, a month, a year later, Microsoft will tell you with an update or whatever. Mostly it's after an update. It's like, oh, you need to make a PIN.
I got
So
you.
I made a PIN on my computer, deleted it back off. I made a PIN and deleted it back off. Made a PIN, tried to delete it back off. So no, you can't delete it at this point. And it's like, I don't want a PIN.
Right.
So I said, well, okay, PIN is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the password's the password. So you go along, and you of course find that 1, 2, 3, 4 for your PIN, 4-letter digits, four digits is easier than that password you got. So you go along with that, and then I know that even I will forget eventually my password.
Sure.
So I have to either look it up, find it, or if it went wrong, I may not have it. And then good luck trying to retrieve that.
Yeah.
So one day, customer walks in and says, I ask him, so, okay, what's your PIN here? So he says, capital A, 1, 2, hashtag, something like that. And I go, no, that's not your PIN. Yeah, that's what I said. And the man says, yes, that is my PIN. And I go, no, PIN is for, that is my PIN. Oh, sorry, sir. Okay, I'll type it in, and it worked. Yeah, that's what I said, too. What the hell happened here? I was not aware of this. So when you set up a pin, there is underneath it is a little check mark where it says use also letters and symbols.
So if you want to make it a little more
if you check that, now the kicker comes in is that my password is, Roswell Talk FM.
Yeah.
Just like it says there on the screen over there. So now I need to make a pin. And guess what I did with my pin? I called it Roswell's Talk FM. So the pin now and the password is the same.
Gotcha.
I can't go wrong anymore.
Sure.
Of course, I was thinking the next thing that's going to happen is you can't do that. Your pin needs to be different, but it hasn't done that yet. I've done this now for a year and a half or so.
So this is your fix until they kick you out of that
well,
one.
I mean, knowing how much we forget, and I start realizing that I'm part of it too. What I do daily is not a problem. It's the stuff that you do once a year.
Sure.
Or less often even.
Yeah.
Then you go, how did I do this now?
Well, it's no different than, like, say you're on your phones, your smartphones, and you got your apps and everything. You got your apps you're on every day, and then there might be ones you're on once a month or once a week. But if you're not on those regularly and you got to log in every time and you forget the it's the same deal on your phone. It's no different. It's
We're creatures of habit, and the habit sticks, and then something different that we do seldom.
Sure.
And, of course, that was beautiful, the phone ringing there. That was a spam call.
They're up early.
Oh, God, yes. That's they're working on that. It's getting a little better, but not much.
I noticed for me, it comes in ebbs and waves.
It seems to be, yes.
Like, I'll get one, and I'll get 3 more right behind it. Then I won't get any for a month, and then I get 3 more in an hour.
You're lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
Mine is like for a few days, it's a lot less, and then suddenly it kicks back in, and it's more. I don't quite understand.
Yeah.
That's
well, and I got mine. You know how you can usually through your service provider you can put the block thing on, and I've done all that.
Yeah,
and it helps some, but it doesn't filter them all.
I got Google Fi running, and just like you said, I blocked it, and then I got a spam call, and I go I blocked this one too, and this one is blocked already. Then why did it ring?
Why did it exactly?
So the stuff don't work, is what I keep saying.
I always think maybe it filters some, and maybe it gives me a 30 or 40% less call of those calls.
It helps.
Yeah.
Let me put it helps. And I think eventually it will do pretty good because it's just too intrusive. It just, know.
And then again, everybody that's creating something to protect you, there's a million people trying to do a workaround on the other side. So, and the people that are, let's face it, that are making these calls, they're not the most highest of scruples people. So
there is just come to mind here. I saw it yesterday on Leo Laporte's show.
Yeah.
Which one was it? I'm not sure which one of the different sections they had it was, but I was watching it yesterday, and a kid in a school system somewhere broke into the system and rickrolled all public-facing screens and projectors and whatever.
Oh, wow.
It went all off, and he was lucky not to get prosecuted.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly he did. He sort of...
was it kind of a goof for him, or was he trying some real nefarious stuff?
He started off as being a guy that was just trying to hack into everything, just because he could.
Right.
Just, can I do it, whatever, without any thinking of consequences or whatever. Yeah. Not necessarily to gain benefit, just to see if he could, more than anything else, the way I understand it.
Challenged it.
So then he found the school system he works in, and the first thing he noticed was that over the system, the controls run through the same network system as what everybody's using, like you have at home. That's not a problem at home. But in a sophisticated system, the control system to control the routers and the whatever you have, that runs on a different channel, a different network, and whatever, than the ones that you use for your data. So the students cannot get into that. This was all over the same thing like you have at your home. And... he found a device that had a very weak password or no password. He got into that. He got going. He got moving it. Said he had a little hard time because he couldn't do it during school time. He had to do it after hours. He set up one computer in computer lab with a camera facing to the projector that he wanted to manipulate so he could see from the camera on the computer in the lab what the projector was projecting up there and doing.
Wow.
So he went all that, and then he turned everything on at one particular day, And, of course, then he worked with the school system and said, I think your security's no good. We need to update this. So, that was an interesting story. I thought.
Well, maybe he just put a audition for his next job out there.
He already had moved over. This was from high school, I think.
Yeah.
He moved over to the next, wherever he went, and it's like, hey, yeah, we need you.
Yeah.
And, of course, Leo Laporte there was making a comment. That's the one you want to hire.
Yeah.
Because he knows what to do where the people that running it have no idea, really. They
It's kind of like that movie Catch Me If You Can, if you've ever seen that movie, that
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hanks movie, where and it's about a famous, guy that was basically a fake pilot and
right.
a bunch of stuff for
that
years.
One. Yeah.
And he ends up getting caught eventually, but after that, he ended up working for the FBI for years,
right?
Basically telling them how he did all his stuff and spotting other people doing the same thing.
You want the mind and the inside of the guy that can do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just thinking the wrong way. You know, we're thinking about we got to make it work and not make it too hard. Mm-hmm. And then security falls by the wayside, whereas the security should be number one, but then gets too hard to operate. And the people doing it, they go like, what happened here now? What do we need to do? Whereas the guy that studies it and is really his hobby and trying to do it, he just does.
Exactly. Well, it's his passion or her passion.
That's it.
That's
Can't beat that.
Exactly. Just all the time we're running short. He's got to get back to the office here. Folks, if probably a lot of folks looking to get some computer work done and things right now, he's got it's not new hours. He's had these hours for a while now, but he's got it set up so where he's doing a lot of his visiting and quick fixes in the mornings, and devoting his afternoons to working on the bigger problems.
I've changed the outlook just slightly. Mm-hmm. We're open from 8 till 1. If you need to bring something in and we need to check it out, don't be later than 12. And if you have to come in to pick it up, please don't be later than 12:45.
Very good.
So I can leave at 1 o'clock. I have to go take care of the woman at the house. Mm-hmm. 1 o'clock. My main reason is to get back over there.
Yeah.
It takes from what am I gone from about 6:30, 6:45 till 1 is a long time. Mm-hmm. So I need to take care of her.
Sure.
That's my main reason to get back. And then when I get back to the store, we fix things, get people in by special appointment, run errands, or go on service calls.
Gotcha. Do what you need to do.
And it works.
Yeah, it's a great system there.
It's been really working. We have we don't do phones and tablets really anymore unless it's software.
Gotcha.
If a tablet needs to be reset, I can do that. If a screen is correct, I don't have parts. I don't do that. No time for it.
There's other places that can do that for you.
Gaming is not very effective at the moment. I hardly do anything with it. It's hard to get parts. Parts are expensive, whatever. It's just not time consuming, building them, whatever. So I'm not doing much in that department at the moment. Maybe we'll pick up when the economy and everything gets going
and
again.
Supply and demand gets a little better.
Right, and then we do the regular stuff, the small home business computers, whatever. We replace them, sell new ones, and do used ones, refurbish them, and recycle whatever is not workable anymore.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. They can do. Put it this way: he's resurrected many a machine.
Oh yeah.
And so come on by. Like you said, come by in the mornings here.
Right.
Calling is always a great way to reach out.
I try to answer the phone. The phone moves over on the cell phone, so the business phone does, so I can answer it anywhere. Of course, once in a while I'm driving down the street to some place, have no connection or bad connection or busy traffic. Don't always answer, but if anybody leaves a message, I'll try to call back.
Leave the voicemail.
I do not call back on just phone numbers.
Sure.
You know, that if you couldn't leave a message, I don't take the time to call back.
Gotcha. So leave voicemail if you don't get
if you
John
need
live.
it.
And then...
You can also text to that number, by the way.
And give out that phone number for folks.
That is 575-625-9141. 1703 North Garden Avenue.
Yep, right by the Wool Bowl.
Exactly.
Yep, come on by. Like I said, in the mornings.
It seems to be that people start going from 10 o'clock and on. Lots of times from 8 till 10. Very little going on.
So,
and then 10, 10:30, 5, 6 people at once.
So pro tip,
Come in early.
Come in about 8:30, and you probably walk right in. Shoot, you might even have a cup of coffee with John here, depending on how things are going that morning. But definitely. Excellent.
Very good.
It's awesome. Appreciate the visit, and we'll see you next time. I'll make sure I write it down next time, and then and we'll see you here.
Very good. I was a little surprised. I'm wrong.
No, you're right. My brain hit a cramp. We'll talk to you next time. All right.
All right. Very good.
All right. It is 7:54. Let's do some news and your Chaves County Sports Update brought to you by DSI.
Now for a Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Another local drug take-back day event, this time in Roswell. The public can bring unwanted or unneeded prescription drugs to the Take-Back Day event this Saturday from 10 to 2 at the lobby of the Roswell Police Department. The service is free. Those bringing prescription drugs can remain anonymous, no questions asked. Note, however, the DEA, which will dispose of the collected items, cannot accept liquids or needles. Adults of all experience levels are invited to take part in a 2-day workshop with Santa Fe-based artist Linda Hopti Choctaw, exploring individual responses to current and personal life events through painting and collage. The event will take place at the Roswell Museum and Art Center on Saturday, November 6th, and Sunday the 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. The session is based upon Hopi Choctaw's recent works created at the end of 2020, in which she produced a body of work, including paintings, collages, drawings, and monotypes. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Welcome to DSI, New Mexico's business technology leader. We help you digitally transform your business to do more, faster, and more secure. Selecting DSI gives you access to the world's best technologies, award-winning local technicians, and our commitment to the New Mexico communities we serve. One local source for all your technology products, services, and the personalized support you can only get from DSI.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Good day for Goddard Athletics yesterday as both the volleyball team and boys soccer team were triumphant. Goddard wins in a 3-0 sweep in volleyball at Portales. On paper, that looks like a good matchup, but that's twice now that the Lady Rockets have swept the Rams. Final score 25-20, 25-24, 26-24, so that was close, 25-22. Fairly tight, but Goddard wins in a sweep. The boys soccer team behind a goal and assist from sophomore Kenneth Velarde wins 3-1 at Portales, and Goddard will close the regular season against Lovington Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Roswell, meanwhile, in volleyball action, loses at Clovis. That was a tough one. 3-2 was the final. 15-12, Clovis wins in the fifth. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. United Airlines reported a $473 million profit for the third quarter, thanks to more than $1 billion in federal pandemic aid that helped pay airline employees this summer. The airline said Tuesday that bookings started to stabilize last month as the spike in COVID-19 cases eased. Union Pacific and its labor unions are suing each other to determine whether the railroad has the authority to require its employees to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. The unions argue that the Omaha, Nebraska-based railroad should have negotiated with them before announcing it would require all employees to get the shots. On Wall Street, the Dow up 198 points, closing at 35,457. The Nasdaq up 107 to 15,129, and the S&P 500 added 33 points to 4,519. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Central Valley Electric Cooperative is an equal opportunity employer and currently has an opportunity for you to be a part of the CVE family. Right now, Central Valley Electric has an opening for an apprentice lineman and a journeyman lineman. Please note that qualifying candidates must have lineman experience or have successfully completed the lineman program. For a complete list of job descriptions of all positions available at CVE and to apply, please visit their website at cvecoop.org. That's cvecoop.org. An outstanding opportunity awaits you at CVE. Apply today.
The biggest sale in the history of southeastern New Mexico is back at Roswell Nissan.
King of cars.
With every vehicle on the lot slashed to liquidation pricing. Like a 2020 Versa slashed to under 18 grand. A 2014 Jeep Patriot slashed to under 13 13 grand, and a 2015 Sentra slashed to under 9 grand. Get free AirPods just for stopping by and enter to win one of 3 LED smart TVs, including a 58-inch 4K Ultra High-Def Smart TV to be given away October 23rd at 1 p.m. sharp.
King of Cars.
On now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. Closing in on 8 o'clock. Stay tuned. Next hour, we're going to have Lee and Jen from American Legion Post 61 join us next hour, and we'll chit-chat about the White Star Ceremony, Halloween, and Veterans Day, all coming up next hour. It is time for Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. From police officers and firefighters to sanitation workers, a new COVID vaccine requirement for city employees in New York.
The mandate affecting the nation's largest police department and more than 100,000 other city workers carries a November 1st deadline for getting the first vaccine dose. Guards at Rikers Island will be subject to the mandate December 1st. Of the workers affected, 71% have already received at least one dose, according to the city. Mayor de Blasio says workers who get their first shot by October 29th at a city-run vaccine site will get $500. He'd been weighing the mandate after instituting one for public school teachers. This also sets up a potential showdown with unions who said they'd oppose a vaccine mandate. I'm Julie Walker.
21 Chicago police officers had refused to disclose their vaccination status to the city, have been placed on unpaid leave. The World Health Organization reporting a 7% rise in new coronavirus cases across Europe last week, the only region in the world where cases increased. President Biden increasingly getting the blame for skyrocketing inflation, yet another factor contributing to his plummeting poll numbers.
A new Politico Morning Consult poll shows that 62% of American voters point a finger of blame at Biden administration policies for being either somewhat or very responsible for rising prices. Among Democrats, 41% blame the White House. On the question of right track, wrong track, only 38% of voters said the country is heading in the right direction. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Buckingham Palace says Queen Elizabeth has reluctantly accepted medical advice to rest up for a few days instead of paying a visit to Northern Ireland. Watching Wall Street, the Dow's up 105 points, NASDAQ 7 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Why are cash-out refinances such a big deal right now? Uncle Ryan tries to teach me something.
I really feel like right now might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I've been doing this for 18 years now, and I've just never seen a market where the rates are so low and values across the country have skyrocketed as much as they have. That combination, I remember one couple in particular, they were looking to do some home improvements at the house, but they were worried about their payments going up. Well, with rates being so low and them building up so much equity in the home over the last few years, we were able to get them the cash out for those home improvements, and their payments actually went down a little bit. Every single situation is different, but it does happen more often than you think. So it definitely does not hurt to call.
We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. License in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Federal prosecutors in Germany say 2 former German soldiers under arrest on suspicion of trying to form a terrorist group.
The suspects, named only as Arndt Adolf G. and Achim A., were detained in the early hours of the morning in southern Germany. Prosecutors say they aim to recruit and command between 100 and 150 former soldiers and policemen who'd earn about $46,000 a month. Achim A. is said to have tried repeatedly, though unsuccessfully, to open dialogue with the Saudi authorities to sell their services. The Saudis are leading a coalition in a bitter war against Iranian-backed Houthi forces in Yemen. Prosecutors say the men expected civilians to be killed and injured during paramilitary operations.
Yeah, that's the BBC's Danny Aberhart. Imprisoned Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, President Vladimir Putin's leading critic, has been awarded the European Union's top human rights prize. Townhall.com. The FBI very tight-lipped about a Russia-related investigation that's going on in two major U.S. cities.
Federal agents were carrying out law enforcement activity on Tuesday at a Washington mansion and New York City townhouse tied to Russian oligarch Oleg Deripaska, a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin. FBI officials would not provide any additional information about the circumstances surrounding their presence at either property or any information about potential investigations involving Deripaska. A spokesperson for Deripaska told reporters the searches were connected to U.S. sanctions and that the homes didn't belong to him but belonged to relatives. The sanctions imposed on Deripaska in 2018 prevent him from doing business or owning property in the U.S. Keith Peters reporting.
California's drought emergency has now been expanded statewide. Governor Gavin Newsom's proclamation freeing up additional state resources for drought response. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. So they go guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, where we never point the blame of finger at you. That was a good line.
It was a real good line.
I don't know if y'all heard it in the news there. It was in the news, and they were talking. I don't remember all the context, but they were somebody was pointing the finger of blame at Joe Biden. It just
finger of blame.
It was just the most interesting turn of phrase I'd ever heard in a newscast. The finger of blame.
Yes, which is attached, of course, to the wrist of justice.
You know what I think of you? I give you the cold, nay, the finger of blame. Not even worthy of the cold shoulder. You get the finger of blame.
In fairness, it's a lot better than the fist of judgment. There's only so many times in a conversation you can handle the fist of judgment.
This is true. Yeah. Hey, Roy, just heads up. Our guest is pulling up. I just got a text.
Roy, you're on it.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope all of you are having a delightful day.
Putting your day in the palm of peace. It was actually fun because once that line got dropped, we just started going off on every body part and its attachment.
Yeah,
it was the forearm of was the forearm of prosperity.
Yes, the clavicle of calmness,
the bicep of fortitude.
Insert your own here. Spend the day. Make your own up.
Yeah, I gotta go down to a bicep of fortitude match.
That's right.
I gotta go point the finger of blame at King Kong Bundy.
That's his Terry Funk, in case you don't know for people there.
By the way, I got the first half of Luna Vachon down, the dark side.
Pretty out there, isn't it?
She's an out there crazy lady. She's out there, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you kind of can't help but feel bad about it though, because it was not granted. I understand that the Attitude Era was what it was, and we all had those moments where, you know, we had our giggles and we had our ha-has, but to be shoved into a group like the Oddities, I mean, it's not going to help your mental, you know, your mental health one way or the other.
To be honest, that's after watching that episode of Dark Side of the Ring. That's what he's referring to.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I felt like it was after watching it, it's almost like just a tragedy of mental health.
True.
You know what I mean?
Okay, it's kind
It was mental health misdiagnosed and mistreated.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
I 100% agree.
I feel like that's what's going on there.
And from an early age, I mean, the fact that she had to deal with, a name like Gertrude, that's rough.
Yeah. But it's to be honest, though, half of those stories on Dark Side of the Ring, I get done watching, like, there's just serious mental health problems here.
Yeah. Which is, I genuinely like how they approach it, because if you watch to the end, they always have, if you or someone is dealing with, they put the phone numbers, they put the resources up there. So I appreciate that they're actually dealing with it, the way one should.
Sure. Or it's well, anyway. I just see that every time, and it just makes me it's great. I love the stories. I love, but everyone's a tragedy. It seems like, and it's like, man, this is.
Here's my question: is what are they going to do for Sweeps Week? It's like, I know they've already released their episode. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm sure it's going to be something big.
I imagine they got another big, because they keep talking about it. Eventually, a McMahon one, right?
They're saying that's supposed to be like a 2-part biopic, from what I've gathered. So I'm not sure if that's going to be done in full recreation, or if
I'm not even sure that's this season, because
it's not going to be. No. This is just something they're in talks about.
Okay, I got you.
So but it's I'm sure definitely in the works.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, dude. There was something I did want to mention real quick, and we'll have to get into this at another point, because I have no idea about this. I just found out. Apparently, this came out back in 2019, and I had no idea it existed. Did you know they made a dramatic, cinematic retelling of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Really?
Yes. I just found out about this just now, because, sad news, the guy who played the Uncle Phil in the movie was in a fatal accident. I don't know. I'm not sure if he had passed or who did, but I have to look into the story more. But it had the trailer in the story, and I went back and sort of watched part of the trailer, and it's literally the opening credits from the movie. I just kind of skipped through it, and you get to a part where his mom is getting down on him, like genuinely talking about what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do for your future?
So is it the Fresh Prince audio or video that they recut?
No. This is a whole new cast. Okay. It's basically the premise is what happens if Fresh Prince of Bel-Air happened today. And so the whole, I got in one little fight and my mom got scared. The fight scene is super dramatic. He gets cornered by a bunch of these just thug looking dudes on the basketball court. But then it cuts to the gates opening of Bel-Air, and he meets Jeeves, who is again a completely different. It's all a whole different cast. But
are the character names the same?
Uncle Phil is still Uncle Phil.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm genuinely curious about how this is going to play out.
And where's it going to end up on?
I think it's already out, because it said 2019.
As a movie?
Yeah, it's just a standalone movie.
Okay, a theatrical release? Or?
I think so. I haven't seen any more about it, but I want to know. I want to know.
Is Will Smith in any way, shape, or form involved with this thing?
That I know of, no. I mean, I would imagine he'd have to have signed off on the story probably, but that I know of, not to my knowledge.
Well, he's got a movie coming out on HBO Max here in a week or two.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Another one?
Yeah, it's I just saw the commercial last night, and it looks like it's in the 70s. The scene, because he's driving around in a microbus, and he's got, I don't know the story, but it's something with kids in him, and he inspires kids or something. I don't know the whole story on that, but that's kind of what's going on there. I don't know. But
is it the long-awaited Hitch sequel?
I don't think it has anything to do with Fresh Prince. It was just, you said.
What was that movie he did where he's the superhero? Was it Hancock? Yeah, so that's what it is, the Hancock sequel. It's now he's just helping kids.
Yeah, now this one, it looks like it's based on a true story or something. So I don't know. It looks like it's the story of somebody. But I just saw a trailer, kind of half of one yesterday for it. So, but it's coming out on HBO Max and movie theaters in a couple weeks. So. I haven't done the rundown or nothing yet, so let me do that. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes, and then after commercial break, we'll talk with the folks from American Legion Post 61. We got a White Star ceremony this weekend to talk about. Halloween right around the corner. Veterans Day, we're going to be talking all about that. Updates on all those. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news and your town hall business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have dry air over the area and a little cold front moved through earlier today, and that'll keep our temperatures fairly comfortable. Low 80s through the afternoon and a lot of sunshine. Overnight will be clear with mid to upper 40s, and then we'll stay in the low to mid 80s on Thursday with sunshine. Back to the mid 80s and sunny on Friday. The weekend looks fair. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's a new one coming out. Currently 50 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 46%. Winds currently out of the north at 9 miles per hour. The weather, just nice and boring. Nothing extreme, nothing bad, just nice and boring. Sunny, 81 today. North winds, 5 miles per hour. Perfect. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 45. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 85 tomorrow. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies, overnight low of 50. Southeast winds 5 to 10. Friday, sunny skies, once again a high of 85. Winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Weekend, a smidge warmer on Saturday, sunny, 88 for a high. And then Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 84. And then next week, more of the same, mid-80s for Monday and Tuesday of next week there. So that's all I have to report on the weather there. Real quick before we take a break, Zia Guns USA here in Roswell is now a full-line Tacticam dealer. These are the same ones you see on hunting shows worldwide. They've got them for sale right now at Zia Guns USA. They also recently received a new shipment of knives, Benchmade and case knives. Also, they are buying guns. They are offering cash, cold hard cash, whether you got a single firearm, a gun collection, or maybe even an estate sale. They're buying it. You make an offer, or they'll make you an offer. You take it, not take it, and walk out the door with that cold, hard cash. Don't forget, Zia Guns USA also carries the full line of Black Rifle coffee available for you. Dr. Squatch as well. They're the only authorized Dr. Squatch retailer in the region. These are soap products for men. A lot of it's online. So if you want to, like they describe smells and things, but if you actually want to smell the smells and see if it's something you like, then you can go directly to Zia Guns and do that. You don't have to kind of guess and order it online. So stop on by locally owned Zia Guns USA, 1907 North Main Street. The only gun store to be open on Sundays, but closed on Saturdays because they spend Saturdays with family, and you should too. Stop on by, 1907 North Main, here in Roswell. All right, it is 8:16. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk with the folks from American Legion Post 61. Don't go away.
Welcome to the Asian market. This is Nok. Right now, we have a new ingredient like galanga, lemongrass, lime leaf, and Thai chili to make tom yam goong and tom kha gai. And try out new delicious nail soup on Saturday. Come see me at the Asian Market, 5702 South Main. Call for order 840-5309.
Mays Lumber has all the hard-to-find hardwood you've been looking for. Oak, cherry, walnut, poplar, and maple. Plus, hard-to-find exotic woods like purple heart, zebra wood, ambrosia maple, black limba, and bloodwood. Perfect for that one-of-a-kind gift piece or table. Get ready with Formica and Wilson Art countertops in 12-footer custom length with installation available. Make it happen at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell, serving southeastern New Mexico and beyond since 1934.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor and a PTO Quick Connect that hooks up rear implements with a single click. John runs with us because to him, there's nothing more important than connecting with the land. Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear John's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
You don't want to bring your car to just anyone. You want to bring it to someone you know. Someone who will tell it to you straight. And someone you trust to do a quality job because they care about you. You want to bring it to Big O Tires. We're locally owned, which means we're your neighbors. And neighbors help neighbors whenever they can. Right now, save $100 instantly on select sets of 4 Big O brand tires. When you need to bring your car to someone, Bring it to your neighbors at Big O Tires. Because we love giving our neighbors a great deal. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for details.
It's time to stock up on beef. Do it the most affordable way by buying a whole or half beef from Runyon Cattle. A whole beef feeds a family of 4 for nearly a year. Buy your meat in bulk for about $6 a pound. Skip the store and skip the wait lines. Beef isn't something that you should have to wait on. Stock up on New Mexico homegrown grass-fed and grass-finished beef today by calling Lisa with Runyon Cattle at 760-5655. That's 760-5655. Delivered to your home freezer. The biggest sale in the history of southeastern New Mexico is back at Roswell Nissan. King of cars. With every vehicle on the lot slashed to liquidation pricing. Like a 2020 Versa slashed to under 18 grand. A 2014 Jeep Patriot slashed to under 13 grand. And a 2015 Sentra slashed to under 9 grand. Get free AirPods just for stopping by and enter to win one of 3 LED smart TVs, including a 58-inch 4K Ultra High-Def Smart TV to be given away October 23rd at 1 p.m. sharp. King of cars. On now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
Happy birthday, everybody out there. Good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the American Legion Post 61 family here, Commander Lee, and President of the Auxiliary, Jen. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
It's way too early, though.
Well,
we usually are in the 9 o'clock hour.
This is true. You are an hour earlier today.
That's right. I feel like daylight savings time has already hit.
Welcome to 8 o'clock. This is what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, still got big head Mike.
That's right. It rains. He's like the postman. He's there no matter what. So,
although your subliminal wall does seem a little Spartan today.
Well, big fat Mike gets blocking out a lot of things. So. So, and then I just triple-deckered up the Halloween one there.
But you don't have the Veterans Day Parade one in there.
I need to get that one.
I should have. If I'd have known you didn't have it, I brought it.
Oh, yeah. I need one. So we'll get that in there. We'll get it. Maybe we'll cover up my big fat face with it.
Self-deprecating humor.
Yes,
It must be an 8 o'clock hour.
That's
thing.
Right. Well, however, before Veterans Day,
yes,
we do have quite a few events and activities that are planned here that we want to put on people's radar and get.
Oh, for sure,
definitely. I guess we'll start with Saturday or Sunday.
Sunday, White Star.
Yes. This will be our first White Star ceremony.
That's right. That's right.
As a post.
I brought his picture. Ralph intercepted me on the way in.
Okay.
This is Troy Alexander Green here.
And he will be the service member that we honor at this Sunday's White Star ceremony. Now, we've talked about the Gold Star ad nauseum here for both the family of those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Blue Stars for those currently serving. White Star deals with victims of suicide.
Correct.
And service members that committed suicide.
In particular, veterans who committed suicide due to service-related combat, et cetera.
Which my guess is, if they're in the military and served in combat and things, it's all
well. In the last 20
related.
years, it's pretty much been the same thing.
But unfortunately, we as humanity are kind of behind the curve on understanding suicide and mental health here. So we're just now learning more about this. I mean, really, we kind of, just in my own lifetime, I grew up to a point where people talked about suicide and people were like, well, that's people said a lot of negative connotations about that. Here I am, 40 years later, and I'm like, no, it's a much different mindset on that nowadays, which is a good thing. This is progress.
Yeah. One of the primary focuses, other than honoring his service and his father, is to bring awareness to this. Before 2020, we were experiencing approximately 19 service members a day were taking their own life.
Mm-hmm.
We're at 22 now and almost
that's sad that
approaching
the number
23.
It's not going down. It's going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So we really need to put a laser focus on this and start putting the tools into family members' hands and such. Look for warning signs and a lot of family members probably feel powerless or they feel clueless because they're not seeing the warning signs.
Typically, veterans aren't the most open and forthcoming people. It's just kind of in the nature a little bit.
That's true, but family probably knows the service member better than anybody else.
Sure.
And if they come back from
they can definitely tell
service,
better
they
than
can
anybody else.
See that something has changed dramatically, and there are certain warning signs to look for. And we're actually going to have Dagmar Youngblood.
Okay,
she's the veteran service officer for basically Carlsbad stuff, but she has some experience in this.
Okay,
she's going to be having a few moments on Sunday, kind of educating us on what we can do.
Okay.
So that we as servicemen and women and family, etc., cannot, they don't have to feel powerless. We can see certain things and possibly intervene before, a permanent solution to a temporary problem occurs.
But unfortunately, when you look at a suicide and then you kind of retrace the steps in your head and start looking, the signs usually are there. We just either don't notice them or, you know what I mean?
We need to educate ourselves onto seeing these things. I mean,
be more observant about it.
It's like becoming a detective, okay? You don't learn to be a detective overnight. You have to be shown the pieces, what to look for, and when it's possibly a problem, and when maybe it's just a laugh and a chortle and
or a bad day.
We get back on track. But if there's a pattern, or something, we can't be complacent. We have to take action, or we're just going to lose more and more people.
Yeah, and I hate to try to kind of box and categorize things, but it's just in a veteran's nature. I'm not talking everyone, but I think it's just part of the training, part of what the experiences a veteran goes through in the military. It's not always first nature to seek help, to see. It's our mindset is the duck on the water. Whereas you see the top of the duck, everything's hunky-dory. You're not seeing the craziness going on underneath. And I think veterans by default just kind of don't want you to see the legs going underneath.
You've said this before.
Yeah.
You've said this previously.
And so you got to be a little more proactive.
I do agree and I disagree also. I think that veterans reach out in different ways.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times you have to have chewed the same dirt for you to understand.
Sure.
And that may be part of the problem. A veteran may not be willing to
open up
to just anybody because you weren't there.
Sure.
But if another veteran who happened to have served in the same conflict or whatever,
or did the same type of
suddenly
stuff,
you speak the same language, and you don't have to go through all the preliminaries.
Sure.
Because you're already up to speed to a certain point.
I mean,
for me, when I talk to a person who served, specifically a person that served during the same time that I did, there's a certain understanding that you already have. And that also develops a rapport also with that person automatically that someone who did not serve probably would be very difficult to achieve.
Got it. Yeah,
I don't think it's impossible. But
sure. You just got to have the right person and the right audience, and whereas like we said, family members are going to be the best probably lookout to see if the veteran is indeed normal or not acting
changing,
normal.
yes.
Yeah. But at the same time, they're probably less likely to be the ones they open up to if it's dealing with some of their military experience.
I'm not suggesting that all family members suddenly become psychologists.
Sure. But we got to put it on our radar.
We got to put it on our radar, and maybe it'd be best if we put that person in contact with someone.
Sure.
Because maybe they'd be willing to open up to that person. And, and it's just so important that we find common ground with these individuals before they... once they decide, and this is something that I've come to understand in the last couple of months researching some of this stuff. When a person finally decides, they become so peaceful. It's like, okay, I've got this planned out. I'm calm now.
There's direction.
And so when you're getting close to the time when they're really going to act, it's when you suddenly see the person change to a level of calmness. They may have been very, very stressed up until that point, and you know, you can't talk to them, you can't reason with them, you can't do this, you can't do that, and suddenly they're very amenable and passive. So, and to me, that's just something that I didn't realize is an ultimate warning sign. Is this person has made a decision.
Gotcha.
And it's time to talk to them and find out, you know, can we reverse course on this ship?
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying we got to bring them back to their argumentative or rude self or whatever. It's just we need to find out if this person has really decided something.
And try to help them.
And try to help them.
And we're talking specifically about veterans here, but this applies to everyone.
Absolutely.
It's not just veterans. So even if you don't have a veteran in your family or you don't really know any veterans, you still might benefit from attending this ceremony and getting the information because maybe you have a friend or an uncle or a sibling who's been struggling and you're not sure what to do.
Yeah, this event Saturday, is as much as we want to honor the service member, it equally as important is raising the awareness and getting people to look at their own world and their own lives and saying, hey, is there red flags in mine that I need to go and help others, or is it me myself that's dealing with some of these issues and maybe I'm not fully grasping that's the path I'm going down yet. You know, so yes, please come out. Mark will be very happy I say this, but in the military world we have a term, watch your six. That's kind of and watching each other six, and it's always about team and working and looking out for each other and everything else. That equally applies in every other aspect of your life as well, too. Your family member, watch their six. Watch and keep, and this is kind of what Lee was talking about earlier. We got to be more tuned in to look for these things. Tuned in, just put it on your radar, you know. And I know it's easy to think because you don't want to think those things. You see someone, you're like, that's just them having a bad day. And we rationalize their behavior in our own heads. And at a point, you start doing that so much that you're not seeing the forest from the trees here. And
well, the other thing, too, is we do have an anonymous phone number that veterans can call. It's called the Veterans Crisis Line.
Yes.
And it's confidential, and it's completely for the veteran. And it's something that I should actually have this number memorized, but I don't.
I can't memorize my own phone number, so. Smartphones have made us dumber. I believe that too.
There's a lot of truth to that.
When I was a kid, I knew all of my friends' phone numbers by heart. Boom, nailed them. And I dialed into that phone on the kitchen wall with the 27-foot cord. I nailed them all. Knew all of them. Now I can't remember my own number, but what's Dave's number? Boom, 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 boom. What's Dan's number? Boom, 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 boom. What's Vic's number? Boom, 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 boom. Not at it. No problem.
Yep.
Nowadays, not so much.
Even folks that I've known for years and they've had the same phone number for years, like my sister, no idea what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. The Veterans Crisis Line is something that every one of us really should kind of know, kind of have in our back
or at least
pocket.
have it handy. Yeah.
Right. 1-800-273-8255.
Okay. That's the suicide prevention crisis hotline.
It's the Veterans Crisis Line. And then press 1. And then they also have a text version, 838-255, and there's an online chat as well at veteranscrisisline.net. Now,
it doesn't just have to be suicide. You could just be struggling with a particular issue.
Mental health.
Right. It's all mental health.
Yeah,
so if you need any sort of help, please call.
Well, and that's just it. Mental health, it's all roads lead to the same place, great mental health. And whether that paths this way or this way, it's all the same destiny.
Right. But my only point here is we need to educate ourselves on the tools.
Yep.
And
be observant.
Be observant. Notice subtle changes. Notice drastic changes. Be able to ask the question.
Sure.
Chances are you ask somebody what's wrong with them, they say, oh, nothing. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
But, if...
Why aren't you interested in doing this particular thing that you used to love so much? Why are you spending so much time doing X when you used to do so much of this?
Sure. Read between the lines.
Why are these things changing?
I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Sure.
But it's... and I know you can't swear on air, so I'll say it in a different way, but you can't BS a BSer.
Yeah.
So when I talk about veterans that served in the same time period or the same location or whatever, they kind of have that they got that, BS shield up.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So, shields up, man. Yeah, well, you can't BS me because I was there, and that usually breaks the ice a little bit.
Sure. It's, again, back to that chewing same kind of dirt mentality.
I cannot honestly say that I've ever saved anyone from suicide, but I've certainly had lengthy conversations with individuals that perhaps allowed them to see a different point of view.
It's all about making headway.
I can't count it as a success or a failure because I don't know. Well, they're still alive, I guess. It was a success.
Well,
but
if we're trying, we're succeeding. That's especially in that world of if you're, just because you're not getting the results you want doesn't mean you don't keep trying. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's to me the effort is over, or the time is lost when you give up trying, and that's what So as far as I'm concerned, you victory. You know what I mean? But again, it's this Saturday or Sunday. I keep wanting to say Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday, it's going to be at First United Methodist Church, 3 p.m. We all are encouraged, welcome to come attend. It's completely free, doesn't cost you anything. We'd love to have you come out, recognize this service member and his family, and let's hopefully prevent some suicides down the road.
Afterwards, if you need to talk to the Veteran Service Officer, she'll be right there.
Sure, absolutely. Even if it's before, we'll make that happen. But come out for your family. Bring the family out. This is, granted, it's serious subject matter, but this is something we all need to talk about. This is something we all need to be aware of. This is something we all need to think about and understand that I don't care if you're, and this is veteran, if you're a human being, this is something that's going to come across your path at some point in this life, whether it's you yourself directly or family members or friends or loved ones.
Well, and I also want to emphasize that this is not a religious service. This is not necessarily a memorial.
Gotcha.
This is more of a celebration of this soldier's career.
Yeah.
We don't approach it from the funeral aspect. We don't approach it from, a morbid aspect. We're trying to be uplifting about his career in the service. And we're also trying to bring awareness to suicide without being,
let's take
too negative.
Let's take the negative stigma that comes with, I'm not saying, please understand, people are going to misquote me on this. It's like, what do you mean? You're saying, no, we don't want suicide. That's bad. We're not, but people have a certain mindset of the people that have committed or attempted to commit suicide. We need to erase that stigma because that's the problem. It's a mental health issue.
Yes, it is.
This isn't about, most people, if you don't have a mental health problem, it's very hard to rationalize why the person's doing that. But as soon as you see the path in which they're going, it makes more sense to you. It's one of those things, unless you're in the shoes, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around a little bit.
And I am not a medical professional in any way, but I would probably conservatively estimate probably 90% of these problems can be dealt with.
Yeah.
Possibly without even professional help.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 10% that I'm really worried about, and they're the ones that we need to focus on, because once they make that choice, then they're lost to us.
Yeah, and I don't want to. We have more things, and I don't want to dwell on this, but we need as a society, when someone's because you hear people saying, "Oh, is this really a suicide attempt or is this a call for attention?" It's all the same.
Right.
Don't
Regardless,
confuse that. And I think in our society, some people have separated that in their heads, and I'm like, no. It's all the same.
I do recognize it as a call for help.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we would love to have you come join us this Sunday, 3 p.m., First United Methodist Church, completely free. All you need to bring is yourself, bring your family. Love to have you come out. Obviously, if you'd like to leave a donation for 61 we would love to have that. But by no means are you under any obligation or to be pressured or anything like that. Yeah. We want you there to be a part of the ceremony, celebrate this life, and raise some awareness for our folks dealing with suicide and dealing with those issues.
Yeah. And even if you don't know someone today that could use this help, 3 years from now, who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's just it. This is being the bonnet type information. If you don't need it right now, there might be a time in your life where you cross paths and need to do some of these things. So.
But let's talk about something fun.
Yeah, we got
Halloween drive-through coming up.
1 week from Saturday.
That's right, the 30th.
The 30th is going to be American Legion Post 61's family's big Halloween drive-through event. Once again, First United Methodist Church has partnered with us and let us use
their parking lot.
Let us play fun here on their parking lot.
5 to 8 p.m.
Yeah. And it's, again, we're just asking for a donation, whatever you can afford. If it's nothing, then so be it.
Even if it's $1, that's great.
But it was very popular last year. It's going to be
yes, it was.
bigger.
It was shockingly popular last year.
We're gonna have to make a couple of traffic changes.
It's going to be bigger, faster, stronger for this year.
Actually, it's twice the size this year.
Yeah. There you go.
We doubled the size.
We steroided it up. I'm just kidding. We didn't do that.
Our Halloween committee has been working very hard over the last several months, and they're very excited to give us this presentation.
Yeah. So
come make their hard work worth it.
So it's going to, again, it'll be next Saturday, October 30th. Everything will get underway about 5, goes till about 8 or so.
Yeah.
Make plans. I know there's going to be probably a lot of different trunk or treats and different events going on. Make First United Methodist Church part of your path.
I have noticed a couple other drive-thrus popping up.
Yeah.
Apparently it was a good idea.
We started a trend here.
Yeah, so if you're going to go out to the zoo or go out and do all the different ones, make sure you put the American Legion Post 61 on your list of activities.
Yeah, apparently we have a reputation for the amount of candy we give out to baggies.
Well, that's
and we're still looking for candy donations.
Oh, yes.
So
That's something we need right now.
We definitely are in desperate need of candy donations.
Yeah, so if you'd like to help us out, you can drop them off here at the radio station. First United Methodist Church, I bet we'll take them.
Yeah.
That's where
we'll
our
make it
office
happen.
is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've officially moved into that location.
Yes, we have a new office there.
Our office is now at 200 North Pennsylvania. So.
Yes, so we are fully moved in.
Yep.
We're
the office phone number went away, but we still have the post phone number, which is actually like a Google Voice number.
It's our new home. As soon as we get there, we take our pants off and sit in the chairs because we're at home.
Oh boy. I don't know about that. We definitely did hang some
definitely
charters and flags.
Here
like we're home.
On Mike Winter's show.
Oh boy.
No, we finally got it all painted. We got our air conditioning set up, our heater set up, and the only thing we got to buy is some chairs, I guess. But
unless someone wants to make a nice donation.
Ha.
Although after they heard what I just said, they're like, "No, you guys stand."
That's right. Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, the only person I've ever seen take his pants off at the office is Mike Winter. So.
Oh boy.
It happens a lot. I was in the historical side. They're like, what are you going to take off this time for there another event? Everyone wants me to strip, and I don't know why about that.
As long as you're wearing fishnet stockings, you get a big donation.
It is, yeah, exactly. Well, you want more money, you guys want more stuff, you better come up with bigger bucks. But anyway, but yes, come out, have fun with us on Halloween. Come out to First United Methodist Church, and join. We'll be right there in the park. You can't miss it. You'll just follow the lights and the glow and the people and all that stuff. And
follow the line.
Yeah, but it's going to wrap up about 8, so make plans to, kind of get there and go through and all of that stuff.
And we'll hand out candy as long as supplies last. So if you want to be sure to get candy, come a little closer to 5 than 8.
Exactly. And like you said, they're kind of heavy-fisted with the candy there. So
we are, but we did end up with a little left over last year. So hopefully we get enough donations this year that we'll be
keep heavy-fisting
overflowing again.
Excellent. Yes. So I know Sheriff's always asking for candy while you're grabbing some candy for the sheriff. Pick up a bag or two for us, too, if you don't mind, and drop it off here.
The sheriff's on a keto diet. I don't think he's going to have any.
Well,
apparently they're doing their own trunk or treat type.
Well, I think what they also do is they just give it out. Like, if they keep them in the cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just use it as needed in those situations.
It's bribes.
Yeah.
For the kids,
if you got stuffed animals, that's another thing you can donate to Post 61. Because what we do is we give that to the sheriff's department or the police department.
Yeah, for goodie bags.
They give it to children, when they roll up on a call or something and they've got a child, that's either in crisis or witnessed a crisis or something. And
sure.
They like to give them these clean stuffed animals and stuff that keep them calm
it's
and occupied.
It's
a comfort toy. So we gave a bunch of them away last year to the PD.
They were very excited to get them.
We are asking for donations of your old stuffed animals and stuff like that.
As long as they're clean and serviceable.
And we're going to give them to the sheriff's department this year. So
very good.
If anybody has any of that.
Yeah, we'd love to help. Again, we just go and help others with it. That's what we're doing with it. We promise.
Yep.
Of course, the big event is November 6th.
Veterans Day celebration.
Veterans Day celebration.
Saturday, November 6th.
It starts at 9 at the Chavez County Courthouse lawn, as always.
As tradition.
We've extended it to an hour this year for the ceremony because there was just too much we wanted to get done. And
we, I ain't trying to toot our own horn, but we got an awesome guest speaker.
We do.
Jack
we
Swigert.
really do.
Yeah,
we met him at our last meeting, and he's a very impressive gentleman.
He's a local gentleman. He was in Vietnam. He was a helicopter pilot. And if you ever saw the movie We Were Soldiers, that was the Greg Kinnear character was basically him.
Yeah.
So really dynamic individual. He came and talked to us at our meeting last Thursday.
He's still pretty active in our community and everything.
He really is.
He apparently was very active in the publishing world.
Yeah.
For a long time, newspapers and stuff like that. Anyway, between 9 and 10, we've got scheduled. We got the scouts coming out, to do the wreath laying, and we've got them doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Of course, your own Mike Winters will be the DJ and master of ceremonies.
Yeah, MC. I'm not spinning tunes.
No.
All right, y'all ready?
You'd be the Fresh Prince of Roswell.
I suppose.
Parents just don't understand.
Oh my God. Jeez.
No, I will be doing none of that.
No.
So about 10 o'clock, we're going to start rolling towards the Wool Ball. Now, I'm still in deep negotiations with the city to get the permit. They had already granted me the permit up to 12th, which doesn't quite get us where we need to be. And the police department had been arguing with me that, through the permit department, that they didn't have the personnel to handle Main and College Boulevard.
Yeah.
Okay. So I spoke to Mike Harrington, and the sheriff has agreed that he will cover any of these gaps or problems.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, I've been playing phone tag with Damien over at Parks and Rec for the last couple of days, but hopefully we can get these things worked out really soon.
Good.
My understanding is the state permit's already in work.
Okay.
So we should
Fingers
be
crossed.
good to go on all of this.
Hopefully, because we'll have you guys next week. Hopefully by then we have a more finalized answer, hopefully.
Yeah, and RISD finally responded, and they pushed out the art and essay contest.
Okay, so you should start seeing those in the kids' schools. In
I'm hoping as of today they will be in there. They sent me the email yesterday. I got it from Jennifer Call yesterday.
Okay.
And she said that she had published that to the principals and all that stuff.
I would imagine if there's any parents listening or anything, and they, for whatever reason, don't get one through their kid and would like one, give us a call, reach out. We'll make sure we get you.
Yeah.
The
Contact the schools. Make sure your kids are participating in the Poppy art contest and the essay contest.
Yeah, that's a real fun part of this.
They
It's really getting the kids involved.
They can participate independent of Roswell Independent
They
Schools
can,
as
yes.
well. If you want to do this as a home project,
is there any homeschoolers out there?
go to
Let us know.
roswelllegion.org. On the right-hand side, you'll see the art essay contest is on
You
the
can download
right-hand
it there
side. And the K through 2 coloring sheets are the link right below that.
Oh, cool.
And there's more coloring sheets this year than there were last year. Of course, they can do the poppies,
Right.
which comes from the American Legion Auxiliary. But I also downloaded a few for kids coloring sheets for soldiers and tanks and ships and stuff like that.
Pretty neat.
The toys of the military.
Yeah, the toys of the military, yes.
So, I mean, there's something for boys and girls and everywhere in between up there.
Yeah.
So, I know some girls that are really into tanks. So,
Well, tanks are cool.
tanks are cool. So, I'm not trying to be sexist in any way, but I'm saying we have something up there for everyone.
Awesome. So again, roswelllegion.org is the website to go there. www.roswelllegion.org, and then you can.
And I
download
have secured permission from the Roswell Mall after the contest is over, we will be displaying all the artwork up there.
Oh, inside is it that hallway, the wall of
the
honor
Hall
hallway?
of Heroes.
Yeah, Hall of Heroes. That's what.
Yeah, we're going to be opposite the wall that they already have.
That's
displayed.
correct. Yeah. So I did give permission for that. Also, Mike Winters has graciously again allowed the essay contest winners.
Yeah, we'll put them on
read
here
them on air.
Yeah, love to have
again.
them. Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, that was fun last year.
Yeah.
On a side note, I do want to let you know that we did distribute a scholarship to
Yes, we did.
Tanya Rodriguez.
Yeah.
She is a second-year nursing student at Eastern New Mexico State, Roswell.
And Army vet, if I remember right.
Yes, and she joined our post.
Yeah.
So win-win all around for us, and we got to give her $500.
Awesome.
Yeah, she was very excited to get that.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Army. After I said Army, I was like, I think
It
it's
was Army.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
She was
Army.
Army National Guard, Army. I remember reading her service record.
Awesome.
But
good for
I
her.
want to let people know that we still have one $500 scholarship that did not get distributed.
Okay.
So we will probably open that up to the winter
winter session.
session.
So keep checking back at the roswelllegion.org website for that to open up.
Right.
And next year, currently, we're offering 4 scholarships. This won't be made available until next
summer.
Okay.
Spring, summer.
But there will be 4 $2,500 scholarships will become available at that time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So be checking back.
Due to some private funding that came in.
We hit the lottery. Just kidding.
That'd be nice, but no, we just had a generous donor.
We have a generous donor.
Yes.
Yeah. And big thank you to those
He has
folks.
not indicated whether or not he wants credit for this yet, but
we'll keep him anonymous till we
keep him
hear
anonymous
such.
until he gives me that permission. But
Yeah.
anyway, I want people to know that we are fully committed to education.
Yes. So please go learn more, read about it at the website there, and then get ready to get your
The information
flying
has
fingers ready.
been taken down from the website, but
Okay.
if you are interested in that $500 scholarship, you can email me directly at commander at roswelllegion.org, or you can call the post.
Okay.
575-268-0220.
And I think you'll find all that information at roswelllegion.org if you're driving around and can't remember it. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And anyway, call me. First come, first serve. If I get a qualified member, I'll go ahead and distribute that $500.
Awesome. Good deal. I just saw the time. Probably need to wrap this up. Don't forget, this Sunday, 3 p.m., First United Methodist Church. It's our White Star ceremony here. We want to get as many people to come out and participate, watch the ceremony. It's completely free. Help us as we raise awareness and honor this this service member here.
Yeah.
So.
Can I mention something real quick?
Yes, sir.
Memory Lawn. We need more donations. We're working on the fence right now.
Right.
We've been prepping the fence for a couple of days, and we're going to start painting it. We also are going to be replacing that flagpole pretty soon.
Oh, good.
So if any donations want to come in for those, please, we need your help.
Absolutely.
And if anybody knows metallurgy or how to weld, we really need to fix the collars on one of the fence.
Yeah, we have a broken collar on the fence.
Okay.
That needs to
The
be
gate
fixed.
won't swing because it's been rusted through. So
Okay.
if you guys know how to weld, please come out
we
and
need a
help
welder.
us.
We need a welder.
I think we can rust one up around here.
It's Roswell. I'm hoping so.
Anyway, that's all I got, Mike.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
We'll see you here on the radio next week. I'll see you guys sooner than that, I'm sure. But awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate
All
it.
right, thanks, Mike.
Anytime. 8:55. Let's news. Quick break. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Another local drug take-back day event, this time in Roswell. The public can bring unwanted or unneeded prescription drugs to the take-back day event this Saturday from 10 to 2 at the lobby of the Roswell Police Department. The service is free. Those bringing prescription drugs can remain anonymous, no questions asked. Note, however, the DEA, which will dispose of the collected items, cannot accept liquids or needles. Adults of all experience levels are invited to take part in a 2-day workshop with Santa Fe-based artist Linda Hopti Choctaw, exploring individual responses to current and personal life events through painting and collage. The event will take place at the Roswell Museum and Art Center on Saturday, November 6th, and Sunday the 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. The session is based upon Hopi Choctaw's recent works created at the end of 2020, in which she produced a body of work, including paintings, collages, drawings, and monotypes. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have dry air over the area and a little cold front moved through earlier today, and that'll keep our temperatures fairly comfortable. Low 80s through the afternoon and a lot of sunshine. Overnight will be clear with mid to upper 40s, and then we'll stay in the low to mid 80s on Thursday with sunshine. Back to the mid 80s and sunny on Friday. The weekend looks fair. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. United Airlines reported a $473 million profit for the third quarter, thanks to more than $1 billion in federal pandemic aid that helped pay airline employees this summer. The airline said Tuesday that bookings started to stabilize last month as the spike in COVID-19 cases eased. Union Pacific and its labor unions are suing each other to determine whether the railroad has the authority to require its employees to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. The unions argue that the Omaha, Nebraska-based railroad should have negotiated with them before announcing it would require all employees to get the shots. On Wall Street, the Dow up 198 points, closing at 35,457. The Nasdaq up 107 to 15,129, and the S&P 500 added 33 points to 4,519. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
It's October, and that means it's time to paint Roswell Honda pink. We've partnered up with the Chaves County Cancer Fund to help raise much-needed money, and we're gearing up for another amazing year. Roswell Honda is giving away some great prizes, including 2 Michael Kors designer purses, pretty in pink, of course. Stop by for your free entry or 3 with any qualified test drive. And that's not all. With rebates, incentives, and discounts, and with rates never being this low, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel. Roswell Honda knows that times are tough, and we're here to help and take some of the stress out of your life. It's just a part of what makes this hometown proud. Help us make it happen for the Chaves County Cancer Fund and paint it pink this month at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Hey, this is Dr. Keon Egger at Carabelli Dental in Roswell. Our office is passionate about creating beautiful, long-lasting smiles. But here's the thing. Sometimes that means dentures, and that's not a bad thing. These aren't your grandma's dentures. We combine artistry and the latest technology to create beautiful, natural-looking teeth. If you are in southeastern New Mexico and you have dentures or are considering dentures, you need to come visit us at Carabelli Dental.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 622-4455.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. Name to remember.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways.
Municipal workers under a new COVID vaccine requirement rolled out this morning by Mayor Bill de Blasio. The mandate carries a November 1st deadline for getting that first shot. A major airline caving on a vaccine mandate.
Southwest Airlines has backed down in the face of huge employee protest over its proposed vaccine mandate for pilots and other workers. Southwest will now allow its unvaccinated workers to stay on the job past a December deadline instead of forcing them into paid leave. The December 8th mandate targeting workers was forced on airlines by President Biden. Ken Lorman reporting.
21 Chicago police officers placed on unpaid leave for failing to report their vaccination status to the city via an online portal. North Korea shouting it from the housetops. Crowing about its latest missile launch took place just yesterday. The White House is condemning the missile test. New smaller ballistic missile launched from a submarine.
These launches violate multiple UN Security Council resolutions and are a threat to the region. We call on the DPRK to refrain from further provocations and engage in sustained and substantive dialogue. And our commitment to the defense of the Republic of Korea and Japan remains ironclad.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. Nicholas Cruz has pleaded guilty to murder in the 2018 massacre, left 17 dead. At a Parkland, Florida high school, Cruz entering his plea a short time ago. Police say 3 people are dead, 2 others critically wounded, a shooting at a home in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Watching Wall Street this morning, stocks in positive territory. Right now, the Dow's up 149 points, the NASDAQ ahead 16. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Why are cash-out refinances such a big deal right now? Uncle Ryan tries to teach me something.
I really feel like right now might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I've been doing this for 18 years now, and I've just never seen a market where the rates are so low and values across the country have skyrocketed as much as they have. That combination, I remember one couple in particular, they were looking to do some home improvements at the house, but they were worried about their payments going up. Well, with rates being so low and them building up so much equity in the home over the last few years, we were able to get them the cash out for those home improvements, and their payments actually went down a little bit. Every single situation is different, but it does happen more often than you think. So it definitely does not hurt to call.
We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Russia's president ordering paid time off for workers amid a surge in coronavirus infections and deaths.
President Putin said the situation with COVID was difficult across Russia. To slow the spread of the virus, he approved a workplace shutdown across the country from October the 30th to November the 7th. Those regions where the situation is particularly bad will be allowed to shut down earlier and for longer. The Kremlin leader called on Russians to get vaccinated. We see dangerous consequences, he said, from the slow speed of vaccination.
That's a BBC Steve Rosenberg in Moscow. New airstrikes have hit the capital of Ethiopia's embattled Tigray region. Video shows injured people with bloodied faces being rushed to vehicles. Thick black smoke billows high into the sky. The government claims to have targeted facilities used to make and repair weapons, something a spokesman for the rebel force denies. News and analysis at townhall.com. The state of Nebraska launching a new $10 million ad campaign.
The campaign will use federal coronavirus relief money to try to lure people from other states and fill jobs amid a severe worker shortage. Governor Pete Ricketts unveiled the ad that will be aired in major media markets within 500 miles of Nebraska, including Minneapolis, Kansas City, Denver, and Chicago, as well as Austin, Texas, and Silicon Valley. The ad features clips of people working in high-tech jobs, enjoying the outdoors, and buying $225,000 homes. John Scott reporting.
A military veteran, best known as a helicopter pilot who was shot down and held prisoner in the 1993 Black Hawk Down incident, joining the U.S. Senate race in Alabama. Republican Mike Durant, now the owner of an aerospace company in Huntsville. To get on Wall Street this hour, the Dow up 134 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Christ invierno.
I started going and then I forgot I didn't turn the mic on yet. I was more concerned with that water bottle. I was like,
I know.
Here, give me that.
I saw it. I was just like, no, fine. I got this. Yeah, actually, I'm curious. I don't think you can do it when it's empty, but have you ever been able to flip the water bottle?
No. I've never tried, in all fairness.
I have to have some water, I think. I've never been able to do it.
Me either. I've never tried, though.
No?
No.
You should try it. It's cathartic.
Is it?
It's a good way to pass a Saturday. It's a good bottle like that much full and just... Kim walks in. What are you doing? Mind your business. That's what I'm doing.
I feel like if you have that kind of time, you'd be more impressive to do card tricks.
Oh, I agree. Card tricks, throwing cards into a hat, anything involving playing cards.
I think it's more useful than a bottle. Flipping a bottle.
You know what's really what's actually kind of taken off lately is card throwing, like the art
like
of
Chinese stars.
Yeah,
throw them like Chinese stars.
Like where people hold up like a newspaper and they'll just like and like Gambit style chop through them.
Okay,
because that's what I always think of when I see that is Gambit from the X-Men.
Yeah.
It's like he was the one of all the mutations you get. How come yours is playing cards?
Can kids still buy throwing stars at Army Navy surplus stores?
Of course.
Can they? I didn't know.
This is America, dadgummit.
I remember when I was a kid, we used to buy those things, and I'm like, yeah.
If you can't go to a surplus store right now and buy yourself an MRE that's like 4 months out of date and a throwing star, then this isn't America, Jack.
I remember.
Hashtag not my America.
There was an Army Navy surplus store within walking distance of our house. It was like maybe a mile away, so we'd take our bikes and ride there. And so we go to the Army Navy surplus store, and we would get because we played Army.
Right.
After we go buy our camouflage shirts and canteens and mess kits like we're going to use them for anything.
Right.
But one of the biggest purchases, and then throwing stars, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the biggest things we would buy there was smoke bombs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you get those very much
You really
anymore.
can't find them in like surplus stores, but
Yeah.
what you do is you stock up like 4th of July or New Year's.
Yeah.
But
they used to
when
sell
the
them in
stands
the
are
Army
open.
Navy surplus store.
So here's the thing. I think I'm like required by FCC like regulations to say, kids, you probably won't be allowed to be sold to in one of these Army Navy surplus stores. Wink.
Yes. But so we would buy them and basically throw them at each other, light them on fire like a kid be hiding in the bush. We'd light one and throw it in the bush and then smoke them out.
And it was always like the parent. See, and this is the thing, and this is why I'm so like to an extent, I am incredibly jealous of my parents. Because granted, we have technology, we have all kinds of stuff to like fill our time and entertainment and stuff. They had so much free time. Nobody was raising their children back in the 80s. We raised ourselves. They were just off doing God knows what.
Maybe that's part of the problem. I'm not arguing with her.
Saying it's like, oh, I mean, they had it so easy because it's like, yeah, parents just sit.
Did
out
y'all
and
have
let them-
BB gun fights?
We didn't BB gun fights. Jiminy.
Yeah, we did that.
Where you
too.
do like the 27 times. Johnny, you broke my skin.
I didn't say we did smart things as a kid. I'm just saying we did them.
We did bottle rocket fights.
No, we got BB guns and we played Army, but with BB guns.
Okay.
And to this day, it's almost gone. But there's a scar between my knuckles right here. I was actually, I was hiding behind a stump, and I was my BB gun was up, and I'm holding it like in a position to shoot because I'm looking for the target. And as I'm sitting there, I get hit with a BB in my finger.
Oh,
between the knuckles and the BB sticks.
So wait a second. Let's review. You were in the firing position.
Yeah, I'm holding it up with my. And I'm left eye dominant, left-handed.
Okay, gotcha.
So my left hand is holding the trigger.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're essentially like this, and you got shot where?
In the finger, my left hand.
So your hand was this close to your eyeball.
Correct.
And you got shot here.
Correct.
Just for review's sake.
Correct.
I hate to be cliche, but you'll shoot your eye out, kid.
I said none of this was smart. It was dumb.
I almost hosted a morning show with a one-eyed DJ. Do you have any idea what kind of pull we would have in this community?
Yeah.
Smalls and one-eyed Mike in the morning. Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't listen to that show and watch?
Well, I am sorry it hit between my knuckles instead of my eyeball. But
so
the BB,
close.
the BB stuck in between my knuckles, so I'm like feeling around, and I could feel the BB in there. So I had to push the BB out through the hole and back onto the ground.
So you went ahead and gave yourself a new BB hole.
Yeah.
That's.
So I shot one.
She's in. Andrew's like, I'm in.
I am all in on this deal.
Yeah.
By the way, I do know a kid that he actually shot his eye out with a BB gun when I was in high school.
Yeah?
Yeah, for real.
I'm just saying, though.
Was his name Ralph?
I was going to ask. Millimeters, though. I'll wait till you're off air to ask that question. Millimeters from your eyeball.
Centimeters, but all right. Because I was right here. So,
Okay.
so if I'm shooting like this, like eyes here, it was
millimeters
like right
could be
here.
100.
So
saying you can have 100 millimeters. Still, you were close.
I'd say a good 3 centimeters.
That's like an inch.
There's plenty of room.
I was fine.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh,
Andy Newsom, by the way, was the kid's name.
Oh,
very good.
Don't. Is it around here?
No.
Oh, because don't name drop the kid.
No, I live in, no. Andy Newsom became the coolest kid ever after
Coolest
that.
one-eyed kid in the place.
I'm sure, yeah. That's the one look that you can definitely pull off walking down the hallway as an eye patch. Hardcore.
No, he had a fake eye.
Oh, dude.
That was even
better.
cooler because he'd pop it out and I'd be like,
wow.
like
Again.
Andy,
Would he
what's
put it in his
up?
mouth?
Huh? No.
Because if I had a glass eye, I'd totally pop it out and put it in my mouth. And
So
walk
I knew
around.
another guy that used to do that.
He would take a pen and he would sit there and tap his eye, and it was the grossest.
Yeah, I knew a kid that used to have 2 fake eyes, and he'd do that.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Wall walk John?
How do you know we did it right?
Yeah, exactly. At what point do you know that
I
you
may
have
or
an
may not
injury?
be related to said person.
I was, again, off air, but I was going to
Yeah. So kids, don't do anything I just told you about.
Yeah.
But the part that was really dumb, it's like in June. And we're out there in the woods running around with leather jackets on and big, thick,
Right.
Did you have a mullet?
No, well.
That's a yes.
Not
You had a mullet.
That's a yes.
full on mullet. It was like a mini mullet.
It was there was only so much party that he could handle.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, I mean that was the days of my feathered coiffed hair, and then it would loop out in the back.
Well, he is a Gen Xer.
Remember
Like-
Michael Landon? There you go.
Dude, I was
Highway to Heaven, Michael Landon. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't have curly
You almost
hair,
said
though.
Stairway.
I did
That's Led Zeppelin. Totally different.
Except my hair's not curly like Michael
I work in
Landon.
music.
It's more straight.
That's true.
When I had it. It only curled down here, the bottom.
So like 80s hairband.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah,
just
that
picture
was
the
look.
that like when you're doing like a flashback on a sitcom,
Yeah.
goes flashback and they have just like fabulous hair.
Picture me
That's
with
just
more
wild.
hair, skinnier, with poofy bouffant hair,
You know, we can make that happen.
peach Chuck Taylors,
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
and
Was the wins of the peach chucks? That's actually that's kind of sexy.
That's
I'm
a
not gonna
thing.
lie.
I had peach Chuck Taylors. Yeah, I
Now
did.
it's hot.
I blew them out real quick. I mean, I think it lasted like 3 weeks before I blow them out because they wouldn't last. But yeah, I
Very
was
shoddy for
I
it.
was. Oh, and then I used to wear my dad's Air Force field jacket around a lot. There was a good couple years there, like freshman year of high school. I looked like that military angst guy, where I would just wear like old. It was like the old
The kid that just
BDUs.
rolls by on a skateboard that
Oh,
nobody's
you were that
pushing.
kid.
The solid green BDUs before the camouflage and everything. So
Right.
I'd be wearing those and kind of.
Oh no, I picture it with like the label right there. Yeah.
I was 90s emo before it was 90s.
Oh, we would have totally been friends. We would have blown up the universe together.
Mike rolls by and goes, "Sup?"
Sup?
Drops that heat into it. Sup?
Except I was a loudmouth like I am now,
Yeah,
and then I say and do things that got me in trouble.
Like I said, we would have been besties.
My problem is,
He'd have walked up to you and gone, "Is butt cheeks one word, or should I separate them?"
it's just that
Always separate.
my problem is I get or I see things and I can't help it. I just when I see dumbness, I can't not ignore it. I gotta call them out on their
Somebody's got to do it.
dumbness. It's just and it's
a dirty job,
curse. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, why didn't it just shut up? Now I got to deal with this.
Well, because if you don't, it's going to itch at you for the rest of the day. You're like, I should have.
Your head will explode.
But you want to know the worst thing you can do on the planet is get in an argument with a stupid person because it's
true.
You can't win.
Well, because they always have an answer.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
the wrong answer
Right.
every time.
Right.
And at some point, it's literally talking to a wall. And so that's why. And every time I get, but I don't know what in my head am I thinking. Am I going to change him? If I point out your dumbness, you're going to say, oh, yeah, I am dumb. Thanks for pointing that out to me.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Nobody ever wakes up from it.
Yeah. Anyway,
They're too stupid to realize it. That's the problem.
don't shoot yourself with BB guns in the woods.
That's
That's
ultimately what we're trying to say here, kids.
Circle back.
And parents
right.
address all complaints to Mike Winters, care of Pecos Valley Broadcasting.
Hey, I said do not do it. That's just because I did it, you know.
So I guess the views expressed by Mike Winters do not reflect those of Pecos Valley Broadcasting and staff or management.
Like Cher, I can't turn back time.
Can't.
Oh, my lanta. Oh, my lanta.
Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show.
Oh, yeah. There we were.
Now everyone's going to go look up Cher songs. Andrew Moore and Liz are going to join us here from the Roswell Chamber. We'll chit-chat and get updates on all the stuff that are happening there. Yes. You get to move. And then that's pretty much it this hour. We'll do news and do all that. So before we do anything else, let's get you up to date on the weather, which is very boring and nice. Nothing exciting here. Move along, but enjoy.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have dry air over the area and a little cold front moved through earlier today, and that'll keep our temperatures fairly comfortable. Low 80s through the afternoon and a lot of sunshine. Overnight will be clear with mid to upper 40s, and then we'll stay in the low to mid 80s on Thursday with sunshine. Back to the mid 80s and sunny on Friday. The weekend looks fair. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hey, thank you, Steve. Currently 50 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 46% with winds currently out of the north at 9 miles per hour. Boring, sunny, 81, nice. North winds 5 miles per hour. That's today. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 45. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, a little bit warmer, sunny, 85. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 50 with southeast winds 5 to 10. For Friday, sunny and 85. Saturday, sunny and 88. And sunny and 84 on Sunday. And next week, kind of looking the same. Like 84 on Monday, 85 on Tuesday. So just boring, nice weather the next week. Nothing exciting, nothing to worry about or any of that stuff. Kind of one of those deals where you're going to be cold in the morning. And then you want to turn on the air conditioner about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what you're dealing with the next week. All right, it is 9:19. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then we will talk chamber biz on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Relaxing with family, laughing with friends, and curling up with your cat. Great furniture brings joy to your life. If you're not feeling the joy, it's time for a visit to Glenn's for fresh new furniture that will brighten up your whole world. Stylish living room furniture that's the most comfortable ever made, and smart dining room sets that will even make the food taste better. Their selection is great, and delivery is always free. So hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, bringing joy since 1953.
The biggest sale in the history of southeastern New Mexico is back at Roswell Nissan, King of Cars. With every vehicle on the lot slashed to liquidation pricing, like a 2020 Versa slashed to under 18 grand, a 2014 Jeep Patriot slashed to under 13 grand, and a 2015 Sentra slashed to under 9 grand. Get free AirPods just for stopping by and enter to win one of 3 LED smart TVs, including a 58-inch 4K Ultra High-Def Smart TV to be given away October 23rd at 1 p.m. sharp. King of Cars. On now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd. There's never a bad time to break out a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas. At home, the office, in the club, wherever. Parties happen with La Poblanita Party Tostadas, the perfect crunch, seasoned just right and ready to get the party started. It's the dippable chip that bites back, the chips that make bland salsas better. Grab a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas at your local grocery store across all of southeastern New Mexico and take the party up a notch with La Poblanita Party Tostadas. They're all that and a bag of chips.
Loveless Healthcare Center is proud to offer pediatric services and is now taking new patients. Loveless offers a full spectrum of pediatric services, including complete well child checkups, immunization, sports physicals, and treatment of illnesses such as the common cold. Know the ones you love most will receive the best pediatric care at Loveless Healthcare Center. To schedule an appointment, call 575-625-3222.
Family fun awaits you at Night of the Living Zoo, happening October 29th and 30th from 5 to 9 p.m. each day at the Spring River Zoo in Roswell. Bring out the whole family for trick-or-treating, fun games and activities, all part of a frightful, fun family night. Get your tickets now. Pre-purchase your tickets online at roswellconnect.com. Night of the Living Zoo, October 29th and 30th at the Spring River Zoo on East College in Roswell. Come and enjoy some family fun, if you dare.
Did you know that companies that offer quality health plans attract more and better skilled employees? So true. Companies that offer good health insurance also keep workers longer and report fewer sick days. Also true. Most importantly, employees with quality health plans enjoy better health, and a healthy company is a happy, more productive company. So take care of business. Visit us at truehealthnewmexico.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrea Moore and Liz Taylor.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Good morning.
I do want to say Liz Taylor in a way that people are like, Liz Taylor, really? No, different Liz Taylor.
Very much alive, Taylor. Very much alive.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's life at the chamber this morning?
It's going pretty good.
Good.
We're kicking butt and taking names.
It's been pretty busy. Every time you pop by there's people having meetings and stuff going on. People utilizing the facility.
Running out the door with stuff under our arms and
scrambling to get things happen. So that's a good thing. Things are happening. Business happening. Had some business after hours over the last couple of weeks.
We sure have.
And things are going and blowing, so to speak.
Yep, and we have a brand new mural at the Chamber of Commerce right there on the east side when you're going towards the main doors that Eddie Macias did for us. So come by and take pictures. Tell everybody to come take pictures. And then when you post it on Facebook or Instagram, hashtag Chamber Aliens.
All right. Yes, they're green with envy. They're amazing.
It came out pretty cool.
I have zero skills in that world, and it impresses me when people have them, and especially when they do it, like when they're watching them do it.
Yeah, he made it look totally easy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I can't. But you think for a hot minute it's Bob Ross all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It came out, and it's crazy because we have cameras, of course, so we can see how many people come through the parking lot every day, and you see them get out of their car, take their pictures, and then so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
very cool.
Get your photos with our alien friends today.
That's right.
You might recognize them.
You may. You may recognize those aliens.
Although, I think of Star Trek when I see that mural.
Okay.
Because, like in Star Trek, you know how they made all the original Star Trek. I'm talking Captain Kirk Star Trek. If you watch those, all like the aliens are like hot blue chicks and yellow chicks, and they kind of painted them up.
Yes.
In the vein of Star Trek aliens to me. Like I feel like when I see those, I think of the Star Trek aliens, and Captain Kirk's about to schmooze on them.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
That's what I think. It's really cool. But that's what I think when I see him.
Eddie did a jam up job, so we are so thankful to him for coming out and doing that for us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Come check it out if you haven't seen it.
That's right.
Good. And then you can go inside while you're at it.
Yeah,
say hi
and
talk.
Come in and see us.
Come see us. We've got all kinds of great information on things to do in Roswell and Chaves County.
Yeah, absolutely. That's and I know you guys just kind of, because the chamber, I mean, we don't see the tourism numbers and everything the city does, but because the chamber is what it is, people come there, out of town folks, foreigners, things like that, come to the chamber as a resource for information. And I know for a fact that you guys have been a lot busier over the last couple months with that kind of stuff. We've really seen more and more tourism and things coming back to. I mean, you can see in the streets on the on the weekends and in lunchtime.
We've even run out of some of the push cards and information, so we need to reach back out to a couple of our businesses that we've definitely pushed.
Yeah.
And get some more information, get updated information.
Yeah, so that's good news.
So anybody that can hear us, if you want to be part of the information that we push out to our tourists when they come in, please come on into the chamber and drop off your information to us. Oh my goodness.
And we'll give it to them.
Don't worry, I do that every single day, and they pay me to do this. So.
Oh, my kids just stare at me anymore. They're like, I don't think that word means what you think it means, Mom. And I'm like, yes, today it does.
I'm taking it back. But if you need any, and that's again back to, we talk about membership at the chamber, and membership has its privileges and things.
Exactly.
But definitely, if you don't have the chamber as a tool for your business, please. Come talk to Liz here, or who's officially the membership? Is that
officially? It's Kyle.
Okay.
He's been out of the office for a little while.
So talk to Liz right now.
But come or me.
Andrea,
you can call any one of us at the office, and we're more than happy to help you. And of course, one of the perks of being a member at the chamber is you're one of the first people we go to when asked about what to do, where to go for different things.
Absolutely, and then of course the marketing tools and everything that the chamber uses and utilizes. You're a part of that fold as well, and I know during the worser parts of the, I'm going to use big time words, worser parts of the COVID pandemic. You guys are offering that service free to any business, anybody in Chaves County that wants to do this kind of stuff. And so we continue to use these resources and do that kind of stuff.
Yep.
This is something a chamber member gets to do all the time. So.
And through the end of the year, we are going to continue to do whatever we can. But then, of course, January 1st, we need to start kind of rolling back and going back into charging for things that need to be charged for. And when you go to renew your membership, it'll be back at our pre-pandemic levels unless you come and talk to us and let us know that we can work a
Sure,
deal.
if you're having problems, again, we're one community.
But
We'll
if there's
work
no
with you to make that
communication, then it is what it is.
this is true. You got to speak.
That's right.
Speak
Let
now
us
or
know.
hold your peace. Let's talk upcoming events here. We got to
Upcoming events. So over the weekend, Dontrell Moore, Roswell native, he
Former
was
Roswell High running back, went on to the Lobos. He got put in their Hall of Fame.
He
or whatever.
was just inducted over the weekend into their Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, that's
and
the
they
term,
did
yeah.
also retire his jersey,
Good
so
deal.
number 22. So big shout out to Dontrell for that.
I'm sure
Pretty
Mom was
awesome.
very happy on the city council. Very proud Mama there. That's awesome.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool because I don't know anybody else from Roswell that's.
I would say
inducted
if you
yet.
talk of UNM alum off the top of my head, other than Brian Urlacher, Dontrell Moore is probably right behind that.
I was going to say that's the only ones I can remember.
Yeah, So,
So I thought that was pretty, and that was my high school era. So
Yeah.
I thought that was.
And he's
pretty
like
cool.
voice of the Lobos now too.
Yes.
So if you go listen to the Lobos games or watch them on, I don't know if they're on TV anywhere, but on radio in Albuquerque, there you'll hear Dontrell. I think he's not the play-by-play. He's the color analyst on that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So
Big shout out to Dontrell.
yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations.
Very
absolutely,
awesome.
yeah. Well deserved.
What else is going on? Pumpkin Patch at St.
The Lutheran Church up on
St. Mark's Lutheran Church,
St.
yeah.
Mark's.
We just did
Yeah.
their ribbon cutting on Saturday, so they're open.
Yep. So go get your pumpkins because if I can remember correctly, the last few years they have completely sold out.
They have.
of pumpkins.
And they're on North Main. You can't miss them because that big green patch that's usually in front of their building is orange because it's filled with
Yeah,
pumpkins.
right now it is
across
filled
the
with
street from
pumpkins.
Pioneer, next to the gas station right there on Main Street.
Yeah, go out there.
Very difficult to miss.
Yeah.
And they had some pretty good looking pumpkins.
They do.
When
They
I was
do
there
it
Saturday.
great, and it's all for their church. It's like their biggest fundraiser of the year. So support them by going out and buying a pumpkin.
And they did team up this year with the Roswell Homeless Coalition.
Oh, good.
So some of that is also going to support
good.
them.
Awesome. Another great cause. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Pretty
And
awesome.
they get a plethora of pumpkins, but earlier the better.
Yes.
Like right now, go.
Because then you
Yeah,
get your
if you
pick.
wait-
If you wait closer to Halloween, you're
Yeah.
going to get
The
whatever's
leavings.
left over.
Sure.
And I think last year they had to close early because they
Yeah.
sold out.
Yeah, because
were
they
done.
only get so many pumpkins.
Yeah.
And
They
then
try.
you're done.
They trust me. They try. They try to get as many as they can, but there's kind of a demand for pumpkins this time of year.
I think it'd be kind of cool to be the pumpkin hauler.
Yeah.
And I did learn, I don't know if anybody else has known this, but just recently, you should carve your pumpkin from the bottom. Cut out the bottom and pull the guts out from the bottom and sit at the top.
Yeah.
Because then throughout the whole season, your pumpkin doesn't cave in.
Interesting.
And then you can
And then
wear
you put
it
it-
as a pumpkin head.
Well, you could wear it as pumpkin head.
True, it could be the headless horseman.
That's right. There you go. And then you could place it over your candle instead of sticking your hand inside
That's
for the candle.
All
So,
these make sense. That's
Yeah.
good tips.
so little things that I've learned from my children.
Sean gave me a tip yesterday. I don't know if it's a good one.
Uh-oh.
He said to get all the innards out, the pumpkin easily. You take a power drill.
Okay.
You already see where
This
it's going?
is okay.
And then take your egg beaters from your mixer and put the egg beater on the power drill and then go up into the pumpkin and go run it along the sides and it'll clean that whole
I bet
wall
it.
up.
I
and
bet
get
that
all-
works.
And he says and then you just basically do that around and turn it over or from this case, turn it back upside down if you do it your way.
That
and
would
then
actually-
dump it right out.
that
I bet
actually
that
makes
works
I haven't
really
tried
well.
it. Don't know if it's validity or you're about to blow something up, but it's got.
Well,
the
then
theory
Sean
sounds
needs
good.
to do it and video
Yes.
it because
I think he's got the kids this weekend, and I think they're doing pumpkin carving.
Then there you go. He needs
So,
to do that.
If he comes in with a bunch of band-aids on his
And
hand,
if you
I
don't
know what
take
happened.
pictures and video it,
It didn't happen.
it didn't happen.
That's a perfect TikTok video, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is too.
Yeah, I think that should be on TikTok.
I will mention that
If it's not already.
Yeah.
It could be. Maybe he stole it from a TikTok. I don't know. He's just coming here like being all creative. And
I just don't like to touch the pumpkins.
Yeah, it's all
breaking
slimy
out
and-
does anybody do anything with that anymore?
When we do
like,
it,
cook
I
the
still
seeds or-
roast the seeds.
Yeah. Like, and this is where my naivete is. Like, when you buy canned pumpkin, like at the store, how much of that is the garbage?
The real pumpkin.
Like what is, like, is that part of the wall?
It's
Or
part
is
of the
that-
wall.
Or is it part of that garbage in there? What
It's
is
probably a little bit of both, because if it's canned,
Do we really
however,
want to
when-
know what's in?
Yeah, you don't want to know.
I just never,
Bug parts
'cause
and whatnot.
I've yet to open a pumpkin and see that goo that's inside a can.
Well,
of
and
pumpkin.
it's not the same color because they have to do weird stuff. But
Yeah.
if you actually carve your pumpkin and take the innards out and you make your pumpkin, because I can make pumpkin pie that way. Just because I don't doesn't mean I can't.
Well, I can make my own butter too if I wanted to, but I ain't gonna.
That's right. So there's something I got to tell you after this.
Oh, God.
Could have been in that. But your pumpkin pie will look different. It'll be bright orange if you do fresh pumpkin versus your canned pumpkin.
Okay.
And it actually tastes better because I know some of us are not huge
I've
pumpkin
never
pie
had
fans.
I am one of those
fresh
people.
pumpkin pie.
Not a pumpkin guy.
Yeah.
But weirdly enough, when you go to like the Christmas bazaar and get the pumpkin rolls,
Yes.
I'll eat the heck out of those things. But actual pumpkin, well, I won't mess with it.
Lots of whipped cream.
So, do you eat sweet potatoes then?
I do. I don't mind sweet potatoes.
Okay. Canned or the real ones?
Real ones.
Real.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
I think
And no
people
marshmallows.
I think people who use canned yams,
I think marshmallows are an abomination on you.
Shouldn't be allowed.
I feel like
yams.
canned is meant for like nursing homes.
It's just creepy.
Like it
Yeah.
looks like the consistency of
Ugh.
food for people without teeth. You
Yes.
know what I mean? It just doesn't. It's like baby. It's baby food. Pumpkin is It's you put a Gerber around that thing. It's the same stuff. I bet.
I went to a Thanksgiving
Probably.
one time because I'm just going to say my mom makes the best sweet potatoes ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. But I had gone to a Thanksgiving, and as I was walking in, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to eat. I was like, God, I hope it's not that nasty canned stuff. And I looked down, and I was just like,
Oh, isn't that sweet?
okay.
Well,
So-
bless your heart.
Since we got to move on, but since we're talking Thanksgiving, I saw it was like a poll that like KOAT or one of those were doing on their Facebook the other day, and they basically listed 9 food items, and they said you have to kick one out for Thanksgiving. Which would it be? And of course, you have turkey, cranberry, stuffing, and all. Mac and cheese was on there. One of the items surprised me, and I think a lot because I read the comments, and everyone's like, "What? Baked beans."
Ew.
Has anybody ever done baked beans for Thanksgiving?
No, that's weird.
I mean, I
Not opposed
And I've
to
never
it,
had
but that's
mac and
weird.
cheese.
That's not a
I
traditional.
would eat it
I would
because
think.
I love baked beans, but I would have never thought to have. I think of that as like with hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff.
Yeah, like
not
4th of July.
Yeah, not with.
And I don't think I've ever had macaroni and cheese at Thanksgiving.
That's getting more popular. That's
Yeah,
something
we
that-
always did because we had lots of kids.
Yeah.
So
like
in
it's
my
different-
family,
not like the Kraft
No,
macaroni.
like
homemade.
homemade
Okay.
with the
Homemade.
breadcrumbs
Yeah.
on top.
And usually
Yeah.
it's got like an actual like cheese crust on the top. And you
Yes.
kind of almost a casserole, like you know.
Okay.
I can make that too.
Yeah.
Well,
And sometimes I would stick peas or vegetables inside
I'm
with
down
my
with that.
kids.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
That's
when.
how you get me veggies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they used to eat the smack out of it.
Yeah.
And now my kids are going to be like, we're never going to eat your food.
good to know.
But yeah, the baked beans one threw me off.
Yeah, that's weird.
Now I'm like, I'm gonna,
Yeah, that's. Okay, that goes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mess with my wife and just put a can of baked beans out there because for Thanksgiving, I'm gonna go buy a can of Bush's
And just put it out there and see what happens.
Here's my contribution for Thanksgiving: my Bush's baked beans.
I'll throw them in the pot and heat them up because you know I'm a giver.
You're gonna
But,
have to save Mike a seat when he gets thrown out of his house. He's gonna need somewhere
Well,
to go.
we'll be up at the ranch, so come on. We always have plenty of food.
I'll bring beans.
Chef will look at you and be like, okay, whatever. Whatever.
Imaging. I'm laughing hard because I've got the image in my head.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
walking up with this beans and I just got this image. But anyway, moving on. What's
So
next on the
immediately this weekend, we've got the Alzheimer's Walk.
Yes.
And
Cielo Grande Park, 9 a.m. I believe.
I believe
Everything
it starts at 9 a.m.,
Yeah.
but you need to be there about 8:30ish to
registration and
register if you
everything.
haven't already.
I believe the ceremony starts at 9:30, and then the walk will start at 10.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because Liz actually sits on their committee, and then I sit on Assistance League, and the assist teens are going to be there. So both Liz and I will be there all day.
Awesome.
For the walk. So please come out, and even if you don't want to walk, you can make a donation.
You can cheer on the walker.
That's right.
It's just a very
It
good
should be a
cause.
special one this year because they couldn't walk physically last year
Correct,
because of COVID and everything. It was all virtual.
Yeah.
So this year it's kind of
So it's going to be a big deal.
little bit of a reunion. It's if you think of the Walk for Hope that's very popular with the Travis County Cancer Fund, it's kind of similar, not as elaborately long and everything.
Correct.
But they start it the same way. You've got your folks that are battling with dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that. They're going to be leading the walk, and then you've got the family members, and they have a procession through it.
Yep.
And they use pinwheels. That's kind of their certain color pinwheels mean certain either they're a patient or they're a family member of or just a supporter.
Purple, because I have a couple purple ones because my grandma died from Alzheimer's, so I get a purple one for that. The yellow ones, I believe, are for the caretakers.
Yeah.
And then there's another color that's for if you were recently diagnosed. So please
and I
come
had
out.
on pretty cool. A week like last week, and they even have I believe it's white.
Yeah, I think that's the
And
newest one.
And that's for people that have cured or what. Obviously, no one has that yet, but they're because the
hoping to get
medicines are getting
there.
close.
Yep.
So they're starting to plan and say, hey, we're going to have people that have technically are over Alzheimer's, and
That would be wonderful.
I would love to see a million white flowers.
Yeah,
That'd be fantastic.
And the reason why that progress is being made is because years and years of Alzheimer's walks and things like that. This is I don't want to get on soapboxes here, but I kind of feel like we need to do the same thing for mental health. We need to Susan G. Coleman that thing up,
Yes.
and have walks and people throwing godly amounts of money at it, and we'll make the same strides that we are in cancer and Alzheimer's,
That's right.
that we are in mental health if we do that. I'm convinced of it.
Well,
And,
yeah, it's been
look
in
at
our
COVID.
lifetime that October became breast cancer awareness,
Yeah.
only because we kept pushing, and
Yeah.
look at the strides that have been made in
Yeah.
that research. So I totally agree. Come out, be part of the Alzheimer's Walk this weekend, Saturday. It starts be there about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Register, opening ceremonies, and then you're done by noon.
Yeah, you're done by noon. It's not an all-day thing.
Correct.
So then you can, if you got afternoon plans or whatever.
That's right. Come out, enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a beautiful day, so not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah.
And then in November, we've got Christmas by Krebs Business After Hours. And if you've never been
Exclusive.
to the facility, this is a business after hours to go to because you're going to be able to get a tour, at least in part,
Yeah.
and see exactly what's going on. Because if you've got a Christmas ornament,
Yeah.
it's most likely made Christmas by Krebs.
You know, it's kind of funny. That place is the most secretive, non-secretive place you ever like. Of all the places on the planet you think would not be secretive, a place that makes Christmas ornaments, right? It's almost as bad. I'm not bad. I say it's almost as secure as a military establishment. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
because there's so many
proprietized equipment and things
yeah,
that they
it's
don't want the
specialized equipment
competition.
on how they
Yeah.
make
I've
their
never been
ornaments.
inside there,
So
so I'm
it's-
excited.
And not many
Oh, it's
people
gonna be
have.
cool.
That's just it. It's
really
unique.
like Santa's top secret
Yeah,
workshop.
it's
absolutely.
legit. Yeah, it's so. This is a peel behind the curtain moment. For
Awesome.
folks.
Well,
it's kind
November-
of a big deal.
November 4th.
Then
Yeah.
you get to peek inside the top secret Christmas food.
Yeah, because I was surprised, but I'm like, everyone's like, oh, we're not secret. I'm like, are we? Is there like missiles or something here? No, we.
You
make
never
Christmas-
know.
No Christmas ornaments, but it's very specialized in their equipment that they use.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and once you see it all, you kind of understand because it takes the skill, the talent. I mean, they got people hand painting in there.
Oh, it is
It's crazy.
phenomenal
Mine
what
would
they
look
do.
aw- If I was the painter, I would.
Yeah,
I would
it's-
feel bad
it's
for the people who
amazing.
got my ornaments.
Hey, while we're talking events here, I want to real bad.
Yeah.
After you're done with the Alzheimer's Walk, don't forget the Kids Arts Program's
Yes.
doing their event over at the Historical Society. You need to get tickets in advance. I mean, you don't have to, but to save them some headache and you waiting around, get tickets in advance. Go to RoswellTheater.com and get tickets. It's living museums what they're doing. They've done their Graveside Manor in the past where they go and they do little speeches at some of the more prominent graves there at South Park Cemetery. And they're kind of doing the same thing, but at the Historical Society. different characters, ones that don't reside currently in South
Right.
Parks are in a different one, but they're going to be in different rooms of the house. They're going to have games, activities for the kids. It's I think it's like $10. It's really cheap to sign up, and the whole family can do
So
it.
see, there's another thing. Now your
Yeah.
Saturday,
Yeah.
you've got a Saturday, and your kids get to go walk in the morning, go to the Living Museum.
And that's 10 to 4 on Saturday.
See,
so,
perfect.
So you got plenty of time afterwards.
Perfect
to do it.
overlap.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, sorry, we're
No,
doing
that's-
that and we
thank
skipped
you.
back, and I wanted to
Because that was on our list, but you got it. So good job.
You marked it off our list.
Cool.
And then there's also Night at the Living Zoo,
Yeah.
October 29th and 30th, over at the zoo from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yep.
That's the trunk or
It's
treat.
like their trunk or treat.
Yes.
So
they'll
it'll
have games and
stuff for the kids,
activities and things. And
spook it up a little,
Yep.
you know.
Is
so
the
it's-
zoo part open during that time? Do you know? I always forget to ask that question. Where you can go see the animals and stuff
I
too.
think some of it is open, but
Yeah.
don't quote me on that because
okay.
I'll
ask
yeah.
Linda when she's in next week.
And we've partnered with Sparklight this year. The Chamber's partnered with Sparklight, so we will have a combination booth car for our
Okay.
trunk or treat.
We'll be out there doing.
So we'll
candies.
be giving out candy.
Yeah, I know Post 61's doing the same thing with Canada. I think, no. I'm sorry. Roswell Communal Theater, they got a thing out there. And they got a coffin.
Oh, how cool.
They procured a coffin.
Like a real one?
Oh.
On loan from one of, I'm not sure if it's Anderson or don't quote me, so I'm not sure. But
Oh, that'll
one of
be cool.
One of our establishments here in town. They're
I
gonna,
want a coffin.
Right? How cool would that be?
I think it's a used model. They got a deal.
A used model. That makes it even cooler, though, because now you got creep factor.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
It's a creep factor. My youngest would totally be into that.
We need a hearse.
Yeah.
I used to know a guy with a hearse.
I know.
Someone used to drive around
There
town
was
with
a
one.
kid that lived down the street from me way back in the day.
And it was all decked out.
Yeah,
made
it was
her a
decked
hearse.
out a little bit. It looked kind of like
Oh,
a
no.
monster style.
Yeah, it was
vehicle.
kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
He was-
definitely emo.
He was different.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Goth.
Oh, yeah.
No, they were goth. They went past emo into goth. It was
so much My Chemical Romance playing on the speaker in there.
Yes.
I don't know that I would feel comfortable driving it. Like, I don't know. That just.
It's just a car.
It's true. Just think
Just
of
a
it a
car.
really long station
So
wagon.
there's some weird noises and things,
Yeah,
you know, touch you, and that's fine.
So I think we've. What else did we get? We got Don Terrell Moore. So congratulations, Don Terrell. Night at the Living Zoo, Christmas by Krebs, Alzheimer's, Caps.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you can
Balloons
get
for Kids' Sake is coming up.
30th.
Yes.
By the way, RoswellConnect.com, you can get advance tickets for Boo at the Zoo.
Yes.
And there are other events that are coming up too. But yeah, if Big Brothers Big Sisters, their annual fundraising events, Bowl for Kids' Sake.
Yes, and it's
Well,
usually in the spring,
yeah.
but because of COVID, everything's happening in October.
Their event got not canceled, postponed 2 years ago, basically. And this is the make good. And,
Yes.
And so if you had a team then, you know, you're invited to go sign up for your times and everything. There's like 2 or 3 different bowling slots. But if you'd like to help raise money, and they put together teams. But if you just want to make a donation, if you go to the Big Brothers Big Sisters website, which is like bbbssenm.org.
Or just put Big Brothers Big Sisters Roswell.
Yeah.
It'll pop up.
You don't remember that. I remember it because I say it all the
Because
time.
once again, the chamber is kind of partnered with them. We've made a donation to them for Big Brothers Big Sisters, because typically we have a team and we go and participate. But
Sure.
this year, because it's coming out of COVID and everything's happening in October,
The 30th is
and
just a
there's only so
swamp
many
day.
of us in the office, we kind of had to do rock, paper, scissors to see what we had to do.
Yeah. So
And I checked
definitely.
my list, so I think we got everything.
But please support them. Come out. Actually, the fun part's that day. That's all the fun, bowling and everything.
Yes.
The real
Yeah.
work is leading up to that event.
Correct.
That it's teams of 5. They ask $100 per person, which is $500 a team. You can raise more certainly, but they'll give you tools to go online to use it, your Facebook and social medias to share links and try to raise some money and things. But that's what they're trying to do. And it, just to give you an idea, to make a big little match, to maintain it for a year, it costs them about $1,500 per match.
Oh my gosh.
So this is why they need to raise the money, because
So,
it's expensive to
be a
do
part
that.
of it,
Do
and
the
I-
background checks
And
the
be a
program
big
and
brother
everything.
or a big sister, because there are kids out there that need that mentorship.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not a huge commitment. It's not, the kid does not come live with you or anything, because people have asked me about that. They're like, and I'm like, no, it's not like adoption. It's a mentorship that you're taking a kid up under your wing and just showing them
hanging
how
out
to,
with them,
hanging out with them and showing them what it's like to be a good person.
And it's not about like the grandiose adventure. You don't have to like plan this epic trip every time.
You go get a cheeseburger and hang out for an hour.
It's like, hey, I got to go run some errands and then grab some lunch. You want to hang out? Hey, we're going to go see a movie later. You want to go see a movie with us?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Stuff to do.
Yeah, it's the minimums they ask is an hour a week is what they ask. That's it, 4 hours a month. That's, I mean, they don't time it and all that, but if you're trying to gauge what kind of commitment you're talking about, about 4 hours a month is what.
Exactly, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
On a weekend, go take them to the park and sit and talk. It's just another way to mentor a child, so these children become good, productive members of society.
Absolutely, and I know they are in desperate need of bigs.
Yes.
They're always short-staffed male bigs, but right now they need all.
They
all
need
hands on
anybody
deck.
and everybody.
Yeah. So,
So anybody can be a big brother. Like I could.
I know. I mean, it's kind of a
you gotta be
scary
at least
thing when you
18,
think.
But I think other than that,
And
willingness
pass the
to-
background check.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you
gotta
can't
pass
be
the
a
back-
weirdo.
They do a background check. and
I'm pretty weird.
well, you can't be criminally a weirdo.
Yeah. Just weirdo for weirdo's sake.
This is weird, because shoot, I'd be in jail.
Well,
if
I
was a
think
kid.
that's one of the thoughts I have on a regular basis is how in the world am I in charge of anything? Like, this has got to be a cruel, sick joke. I am a mom. I am a wife. I'm in charge of the chamber. I do all of these things.
I think that's the Gen X in you, because I think that's our whole generation. We were like you said, we're the ones that were raised on the TVs and why, and all that. And now that they give us actual responsibility, we're like, you sure you want to give us this?
Really? Like me?
It's like, I'm more important in what Mr. Bean was doing on TV than what you're talking about here, because that's what raised me. Mr. Bean was my dad. You know what I mean? That's kind of, I'm not, you know what I mean? But that's kind of our mindset. And so
we grew up where we got to play outside till the street lights came on.
exactly.
I think we were the last generation that did that because.
Oh, yeah.
And,
all those
Mom
dumb things I was saying about smoke balls and BB guns earlier, that's Gen X.
Oh, yeah. All the dumb things we used to do.
All the dumb stuff we did.
Hey, Tony Hawk was our hero. What are you going to say?
Right? Pop bottle rockets outside of the car while you're on the highway because you thought it was cool.
The weird guy with the hair and the Pee Wee Herman. You remember watching Pee Wee
Paul
Herman?
Rubens,
That's right.
Yeah.
So he had his downfall in the 90s.
Yeah.
We thought Max Headroom was cool for a hot
Oh,
minute.
yeah, Max. That's right.
Yes.
That's
Who
right.
was it that did?
Go
Oh,
look that thing up now.
Brian.
You're going to laugh.
Oh, it is so bad now.
It is. It's bad, cheesy, bad.
But it
does
was
not hold
awesome.
up.
Yeah, when we had
So
Brian in
Technology
the
does
office, he's
We were talking about
mid-20s.
Yeah.
And so we would talk about things. We'd talk about Friends, Max Headrun, and he's like, what?
What?
And I'm
I
like,
have no
oh my
idea.
gosh, I can't even
So
exist right now.
we did a lot of YouTubing for him. Be like, this is.
I get that
right.
every once in a while when I get a young guy in there that doesn't.
Back in the day, South
Yeah.
Park, things like that. And people
Yeah.
are, what? And I'm like, no. Let me explain.
You're right. Yeah, you don't know.
Let me tell you something.
Very. Of course, if you missed anything we talked about here, don't hesitate. You can go follow the Roswell Chamber on Facebook.
Correct.
And
Instagram now.
On the gram.
We
And,
found the password.
We can log into our Instagram now, so we will be posting.
That's
We
right.
did post our mural on there yesterday.
Sweet.
We got a lot of likes on that with our.
Yep. So as we see
Hashtag.
things, Facebook, Instagram, or you can call us 623-5695.
Yeah.
Stop in 131 West 2nd.
Yeah.
We're always, if the door is locked, we do have a doorbell now. So ring the doorbell because
All right.
sometimes if it's just one or two of us in the office, for safety reasons, we lock the door. But if you see one of our red cars out front, we're there. Yeah. So ring the doorbell.
So
That don't work. Knock 3
times on the ceiling. Yeah. So and we do flip the sign. If the sign is open, it'll say open,
Yeah.
and the door will be locked. Just ring
Just
the
ring
doorbell.
the bell. We're there.
Awesome.
Safety
Yeah.
purposes.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes it's just one lady in there, and it's right on a main street that a lot of visitors come, and some aren't there for help.
That's right.
At least not the help that you provide.
That's right.
We're in the habit now. We lock the door.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you, ladies.
Yeah. Anytime.
So Kyle's not here to say. Is Kyle by himself in there? But he said he's out of town.
He's out of town momentarily, but we did hire a new gal, Madeline.
We have
Madeline Jones.
She's going to take the magazine and run with it. That's her baby.
She came and she approached us. She wanted to be a part of the chamber and she wanted to help us out with the magazine. So she came in, we hired her, and the board was like, scoop her up now.
Very nice lady.
She's awesome. Madeline lights up whenever you talk about the magazine, and it's hilarious because she tells us stuff, and Liz and I go, "Do you know what she talked about?"
Yeah, like, we just
have no
we're
idea.
like, oh, yeah.
She talks about magazines how I talk about cheeseburgers.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly. And so she is just been a huge asset.
Yeah.
So once again, if you want to come and meet Madeline, we're happy to introduce you guys to her.
Be careful, she'll talk your ear off, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just kidding.
She's
very quiet.
She's very quiet. I told Andrea, I was like, she probably thinks we're crazy. Because Andrea and my husband tells me all the time when I get home, he's like, you need to lower your voice. You're not at work. Because we yell. He's like, you realize you and Andrea have like a phone or an intercom? I'm like, yeah, but we yell.
We forget because we're like, hey.
I do the same thing.
And so her and Kyle are definitely the yin to Liz and my yang.
Gotcha.
So that way we've got a really nice, awesome office that they calm us down.
Like when we think of a bad decision, they're like,
our bad decisions. Kyle goes, "That's a bad decision, ladies. Probably shouldn't do that."
When a fire needs to be lit, then you two are there.
Absolutely.
To do that. Yeah, it makes sense. It's how it works.
That's right.
Every team has to have their strengths and use them that way.
And we have an awesome team over there. It's
absolutely.
taken a year and a half to get this team put together, and I think we've got a really awesome team at the chamber.
Things are going great. Come be a part of it.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
All this food talk, I'm going to find some. It is 9:54. Let's go ahead and pause for news. Quick break before they kick us off the radio. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Another local drug take-back day event, this time in Roswell. The public can bring unwanted or unneeded prescription drugs to the take-back day event this Saturday from 10 to 2 at the lobby of the Roswell Police Department. The service is free. Those bringing prescription drugs can remain anonymous, no questions asked. Note, however, the DEA, which will dispose of the collected items, cannot accept liquids or needles. Adults of all experience levels are invited to take part in a 2-day workshop with Santa Fe-based artist Linda Hopti Choctaw, exploring individual responses to current and personal life events through painting and collage. The event will take place at the Roswell Museum and Art Center on Saturday, November 6th, and Sunday the 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. The session is based upon Hopi Choctaw's recent works created at the end of 2020, in which she produced a body of work, including paintings, collages, drawings, and monotypes. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
There's been enough pushback to this idiotic IRS rule about literally looking into every $600 transaction at your bank account. Now, after the backlash, Democrats are revising this proposal, and they instead will require the provision of an additional information for accounts with more than $10,000 in annual deposits or withdrawals. Now, let me tell you right now, there's no difference. Because even if you're getting money from the government, that's still going to account for $10,000 a year. And anybody that works is making $10,000 a year. They want to be able to monitor the federal government every aspect of your life.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, I've got good news today for parents that want to homeschool their children. Look, by now you've already heard about the Acellus Learning System. It's now in use by 6,700 schools all over the country. And this year with the pandemic, Acellus, they've become the go-to solution for schooling students at home. Now, the good news today is more and more school districts, they are stepping in to pick up the cost of providing high-quality Acellus lessons to students studying at home. The program is called Cyber School, and the students study at home, and the local school district picks up the cost of the tuition. Now, check to see if your district is participating in cyberschool.com. This is an opportunity to have Acellus best homeschool solution for your kids at no cost to you, the parents. That's cyberschool.com. Now, Acellus really works. As a homeschool solution, students can move at their own pace. Over 400 courses to choose from. It's a game changer that people have been looking for. Cyberschool.com. That's CYBRschool.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have dry air over the area and a little cold front moved through earlier today, and that'll keep our temperatures fairly comfortable. Low 80s through the afternoon and a lot of sunshine. Overnight will be clear with mid to upper 40s, and then we'll stay in the low to mid 80s on Thursday with sunshine. Back to the mid 80s and sunny on Friday. The weekend looks fair. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Being called a fox in your marriage might not always be a good thing. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and my wife, Miss Julie, for the Joy of Marriage.
In Song of Solomon, it says, "Catch all the foxes, those little foxes, before they ruin the vineyard of love." I looked up the word fox, and it means cunning, achieving one's goal by deceit or evasion. A female fox is a vixen, which is spiteful or a combative woman.
Those little things we do to try to get our way can ruin our marriages. Try just being honest and talking through the situation. Do what's best for your marriage, not just for yourself. When Julie and I learned to choose to do what's right instead of trying to be right, our marriage turned around. You will find marriage is so much better when we work together.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Christmas came early at Richland Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. A huge inventory has finally arrived at the dealership. Every type of Ram truck you've been waiting for. 2500s, 3500s, even some 4500s. Been looking for a new Dodge Charger or Challenger? They've got them at Richland. And don't go